That's a funny one too, because like on the West Coast, they don't do that. Like in Sacramento and Texas and all them other places where they support like underground artists and stuff. Like they're big and make money and live off their career in their hometown. And
projects to get any, sure, we could sit there and make songs in the dining room all day. Or we could pitch in and get 100 copies of this. Pitch in and get 500 copies of this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, not that I'm against it, but it's just like the way that things just seem where it's headed. Mm-hmm. I watch too much TV, man. So I've seen Terminator and I've seen iRobot. You know what I mean? So like I'm leery about, I'm still gonna use it. I'm still like on board, but I'm leery about what I'm on board with. You know what I mean? Because I know right. See, but mistakes is inevitable if you ask me.
Yeah, they are.
Like, so it's like how can you tell somebody don't make mistakes? It's like saying don't breathe. You know what I mean? It's just like learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? Like make mistakes, but learn from them. Okay, what was your mistake that you made? Figure out the mistake, whether it's a math question or something. Don't just fail a nigga. Just show a nigga, like, oh, you went wrong here. And now try it again. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there's a such thing as gatekeeping when there ain't a gate. You know what I mean? Like what gate are you keeping? But if there is, like, why do it? Like if you know a way out, nigga, spill the beans. We just shine a light where they hide the grave.
It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast. All right, so you see, I'm trying to jog my memory, right? Of course, I always start every episode with my introduction to the person I'm interviewing, right? Mm-hmm. And this is crazy. This is a really special episode for me because you can't mention Kalaj Dame or my career without mentioning Spuck Johnson, AKA Keblos, right? So I want to say me and Frank, we had to be about 13 years old. And I tell you this story all the time. I tell everybody, actually. We was like 13, 14. We thought we was going to rap. We formed our little rap group, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when his mom, my Aunt Sue, moved to Bryceland Street. We had to be maybe 15 years old by this time. Kind of find out she lived next door to your mom, like your family. So my first introduction was my Aunt Sue's like, hey, this is, maybe it was Ike that told me, this is my Aunt Sue's god sister, Aunt Darlene. Mm-hmm. These are our sons, Keith and Lamar. Live directly next door, like in a duplex, right?
Yeah, well, it was 3 in a row, so you was in a duplex.
There was a third.
A row house, it was 3 though.
So I go over there for the first time, and I think Frank had been over there, he'd been rapping with y'all and stuff, but my first introduction, I seen the keyboard, I seen drum machines. Matter of fact, I think Broadway, Joe was there. Okay. And he had his ASR, and I seen the 4-track, I seen all this stuff, like studio stuff, and my eyes lit up, like, wow. Because we had been like trying to rap for like the longest time.
And y'all was nice too. That was nice.
Yeah, for some kids. We was on
sold out. Y'all ended up being like sold out disciples or something like that.
Something. It was
like Christian rap at first.
Yeah. Our first name was the Positive Prophets.
Positive Prophets.
And we was in church. We was going to where was we going? Like Schumann. We was performing at Schumann. Okay. Every Saturday or something like that. We was going to like church retreats and performing in different churches and stuff. Okay. So what happened, we was on our way to church. Ike, my cousin Ikelis, for the audience, had a Walkman. And he had this tape, and he's playing the music. First song I ever heard, I want to say, was Pictured It Perfect. Mm. I heard it, and it was like, yo, what is that? Then he played Schemas. When I heard Schemas, it was over from that point. Literally my favorite song of all time. out of Pittsburgh. Just one of my tops in general, but man, I love that song.
Yeah.
So he was like, Keith made this over in the studio. So at that moment is literally when it took off for me, and it shifted from now I don't just want to rap, I want to also make beats.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, yo, let me get around here. Let me be around here more to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I wanna rock with y'all and see what y'all got going on. So I guess that leads me kind of to my first question in terms of equipment. Like when I walked in, I seen, so you had the SQ2,
Mm-hmm.
and I've talked to Scrap so many times. He always tell me he sold it to you, right?
No.
Scrap ain't sell it to you?
No.
No? Oh, man, I got to check him on the story when he come in. Where'd you get it
I
from?
bought that off of Bear's mom. Bear was a dude from East Hills. And
Yeah.
his Rays had a keyboard. And like, somehow she just had a keyboard. Like, you know what I mean? However she got it. And I seen it when I was up there, like, oh, shit. It was an Ensonic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once I seen Ensonic, it wasn't an ASR 10, but, you know, the SQ2, it did. You know what I mean? It was what it was. You know what I mean?
I wonder.
I think he had one, though. I think he might have sold his to somebody, but no, he didn't.
It wasn't from he didn't sell it to the person you bought it from? Don't think? So, yeah, I'm going to have to check him on it when he come through. I'm interviewing him soon. Probably a couple weeks from now. That's funny. So, okay. You had a DR6, was it?
660.
660?
DR 660.
Okay, you had a Tascam
Yep.
4-track.
Yep.
How did you, like, at what point in time were you, like, had this thought in your mind, like, I want a studio at home, so I'm going to go out and buy some equipment?
Well, there was this chick, you know what I mean, that I was messing with, her brother Lovey. You know, I went down there, and it was kind of like the same vibe, you know what I mean, that you just explained to me. It's because I went there, and he's playing his music, and I didn't know who it was. I'm like, damn, who is this? Because I heard him say something about Garfield or something, you know?
Yeah.
So it was Lovey. Shout out to Lovey, you know what I mean? But so him being a rapper, me being a rapper, and the Fun House was out at the time with Rampage, Silent Rage, and all that. So he knew me he heard me on there, and we just linked up, and I found out pianos and stuff was where you would go to like get the equipment. And I found out like we went out there, we rented one, you know, we came back, we was up all night with the 8-track. It was the same thing as the 4-track, but it was the 8-track, you know what I mean? We just was up all night making jams, me, him, and Akbar, a couple other dudes. We formed a group called The Major Threat, you know? And eventually I stopped fucking with them, but they still was getting down, you know what I mean? So, but me and Ak and Nazim, Lovey, and a couple other dudes, Saul and Mathino Bay. What up? I don't know where nobody's at nowadays, you know what I mean? But
we all old now.
Lovey, man, I seen them dudes get equipment, and I started realizing what it was, and I mean, I made beats all the time. My Rays would get me a little Casio keyboard or something. I would have a little riff that I would play to a little pattern that's already in there, samba or whatever. You know, they always got all the little different drum patterns and shit like that. But yeah, you know.
Okay. So once you get this inspiration and you're around these dudes like, yo, I'm gonna go buy my own equipment, how did you transition from that to I'm gonna start a record label? Because for me, it was like, yo, your cousin Keith over there, man, like he got the Nod Your Head, he got the True Style, and you know, Crumb Down the Street got the Climax records, and it was like a whole
conglomerate
schoolyard,
So it was
Rap Attackers, and it was like, what are they doing? Like, I need to be a part of this. Like, where did all that come from?
That just came from, I figured that's what you had to do. You had to have a crew. You had to like have some sort of label, you know what I mean? So True Style was like, I had a true style. I was keeping it true. I was being honest with my flow, you know what I mean? So, and then I think Crumb, You know, he came up with Nod Your Head, you know what I mean, Productions. It was like supposed to be the beat team. You know what I mean? That was the beat team.
Right.
And my True Style Records I was pumping out albums, and he had Climax Records. He was pumping out albums. We was all under the Nod Your Head Productions umbrella, per se, you know?
From there, got your equipment, got your record label, got your team. Was there like like something you wanted to follow specifically? Like, did you model that off of like a major record label, or was it just, you know, you had an idea and some motivation, some ambition, and I'm gonna just do what I think is good?
Yeah, not really. Just, you know, just the territory. You know what I mean? You want to drop albums and shit, and it was the thing. You put whatever label you had, you know what I mean? And you put your, you know, even, you know, you make the cover, the album cover and all that. You put the song titles and all that. You put the parental advisory and all that. You put the label name, you know?
So that's the start. And yeah, follow me here for a second. There's definitely a line I'm gonna follow. The overall idea that I'm thinking in my head, like when I think of you, Keith is a doer. When Keith get an idea and he feels strong about something, he gonna get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you the first one I seen in the hood with pressed up vinyl. The only one I seen with a real action figure that, you know, first person with the studio in the house, not the first in general, but the first person I seen with a studio in the house. You own pressed up CDs with your name on it. Yeah, there was other people doing it, but you always given that energy of, if I want it, I'm gonna go out and do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the whole music. This was like 96. How old was you in 96?
How old was I?
Yeah.
What, almost 20? Because in,
Still young.
19.
Okay. So to my knowledge, to my understanding, from there, I remember you seeing you, and you would come into the crib like dusty all the time. I mean, like, is this nigga like punching concrete bricks?
Yeah,
what is he doing?
Right.
And
crazy.
I hear the story, and the story is always, yo, he's in youth build.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? And for the audience, if you want to explain what youth build was.
Youth build. That was it was a construction program for the youth. You know what I mean? Give them something to do, stay off the streets. We would go into old abandoned houses, bandos. We would gut them all out, and they would redo them like HUD houses, and, you know, for low-income families. And we would drywall it, new plumbing, new electric, new roof, new windows, new everything. You know what I mean? So
it was like a Bidwell type program where like they teach you the skills?
Yeah, I guess, because I never was in Bidwell. I don't know if they be in actual houses and shit, or do they just be like in a workshop. When I think of them, I think of like a classroom and a workshop. But this is actual job site. We were in hard hats and masks, and nothing against Bidwell or nothing, but I think it might have been a little different unless they were out on the site.
So this was like school, but like in the field doing so. Like they taught you and...
Yeah, we had 3 instructors, like guys who are like me now, you know what I mean, who will be with the youth and building and demoing and building it back up. And sometimes they would bring in other mechanics, like who specialize in, like they would bring in a plumber. Mm-hmm. They would bring in an electrician. They bring in a heating guy. You know, they had the carpenters, but they would bring in the other mechanics, you know. So I would roll with the plumber or roll with, you know, somebody and, you know, just pick up the trades, you know. And that's pretty much what it was. Dope experience, you know what I mean?
Nice. So you got to learn, like, did you learn all the trades or like just something specific? Because I know you do like drywall primarily, right?
Well, right now, primarily I do patio enclosures, like and windows and doors. I like enclose people's porches and decks and shit like that. But back then, I picked up plumbing and carpentry. You know what I mean? So I would actually roll with the plumber while everybody else was doing some carpentry shit, because I kind of like picked that up a little bit. I wanted to know about kitchens and bathrooms and shit. So I wanted to roll with dude. Even though I didn't learn nothing about kitchens and bathrooms at the time, I didn't know I wasn't going to. I figured I would, but we was in holes and ditches and digging and fucking with drain pipes, man. That shit was bullshit. So I got out of that. You know what I mean?
Right. I want to say, and my memory is still a little bit hazy, but there was a time period between then and I remember it was like real big in mid 2000s, maybe. New World, is that the name of the record label you signed to?
New World, yeah.
What happened between them before you got to New World musically?
Between then and New World?
Yeah.
I was just in the lab making songs and shit, you know. Song after song after song. Was going to the BET Awards like every year to like try to network with motherfuckers.
Like flying to wherever the BET Awards were.
Like it was like the first through the third, the first three actual BET Awards. Like we would go, me, my bro, Fez went with us one year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Funny stories about that, you know, but so I was just making songs and just dropping them in the hood, you know what I mean, as I could, you know, like here and there, working still, you know, on patios, you know what I mean, and just everyday lifing, you know what I mean, just living.
That's dope. I think I remember. I feel like I remember y'all talking about going out to a award show. Like maybe y'all went once in my memory.
Mm-hmm.
And the other time, like they ain't going like every year.
Yeah.
But I used to always think like, what was the point? Like, what was your main purpose in going?
We was trying to go up in record companies and we was trying to just link up with others. You know, when you go out to Hollywood and shit, that's all you do. You just see them niggas. You know what I mean? The stars. Like you're at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles waiting in line, and in front of the line, still waiting in line is too short or somebody like that. You know what I mean? So like if you got you know, for some reason, I wasn't running up on niggas handing them my CDs and shit though. You know what I mean? So it was like, I wasn't outspoken enough as I should when I seen these dudes, but I was still handing them CDs when it was like at the award show, after parties or something like that. You know what I mean? The red carpet or something like that. Like where I would see somebody and just be handing, oh, this is my CD.
That's the thing right there, right? Like I have situations like that. I got situations where like one time, I can't think of the tour, Rough Rider Cash Money, I want to say. And my homie Joe, he was cool with DMX and all of his people and stuff. And he hit me up, basically told me, go down to Hilton. And at the Hilton, you know, all the Rough Riders were standing. And I went down to the hotel. DMX came in. The Locks was already there. I seen Eve come through. As I'm sitting there, I don't know if it was like starstruck or whatever, but it was like, I'm not about to be trying to rap for these dudes and pass them a tape or a CD or something like that.
I think timing is everything sometimes, so that might not have felt like the right time to do it. You know?
Yeah. Is that, like, you ever feel like if you had CDs to give away, like it could have been different or maybe something could have happened?
I don't know. I'm big on what was meant to be was meant to be. You know what I mean?
Right,
so I handed what I handed out, and that wasn't in my story at the time. You know what I mean? God making my path, man. And I'm just following it, you know?
I dig it. That's what's up. You know what I meant to ask you? So the Schoolyard, Nod Your Head, True Style, that whole team organization thing, did it all shut down? Like, was there ever a point where you was like, all right, I ain't doing this no more, and it just kind of ended?
I don't think so. I think like we was getting more advanced. You know what I mean? Like we was moving forward, and it was like it started to be like for the projects to get any. You know what I mean? Sure, we could sit there and make songs in the dining room all day, or we could pitch in and get 100 copies of this. Pitch in, get 500 copies of this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the more I was like wanting to go, you know, keep moving ahead, it was like nobody really was able to or wanting to, you know, like go there. You know, like everybody didn't have jobs and shit. You know what I mean? And it was like, so if I did press up a CD and I would give niggas CDs to go sell, and like, yo, man, just bring back this much so we can get, I mean, but they wouldn't come back with, because they was hungry, nigga. You know what I mean? I feel them. You know what I mean? They had to eat. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so it was like, after a while, everybody can't go. You know what I mean? So it's just what it was. And I didn't go nowhere really, you know what I mean? And per se like that, but I went beyond that point. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I used to have this thing where every time I would try to put on people, you know, sign them to my record label or whatever, like people would always ask, like, yo, why are you the boss? Why do we need to have a boss or a leader or CEO or whatever? And my understanding, as I tried to explain all the time, was not everybody is going to or even want to pitch in and do as much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally, even when I tried to get partners, you know, and I tried to give positions and titles and stuff like that, like some people did a decent amount. And then there was some people that was just kind of like, just like you said, not doing enough. Like, you know, we need money for this. Everybody put up a certain amount and, you know, not enough. But then on the flip side of that, whenever people would come to me and say, hey, you know, why don't we have a dues system where everybody pitch in and we do this? I always wanted to shy away from it because it gave the concept of too many chiefs. And that could have been an ego thing, might have been a bad decision, but I felt like, how do you make a final decision on something if everyone has an equal voice?
And what happens when somebody doesn't pay their dues?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's paying their dues but you. Like, so...
What do you do? Especially if the songs, the music we're creating, the shows we're doing is all dependent on everybody being there and being a part of it. Well, you know, do we kick them out? Do we not go on shows? And, you know, that messes up the groove of everything we got going on.
So the answer is no. He sticks around and we pay for it.
Ain't no reason for nobody else to pay dues if he ain't got to pay them, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, it was that. And then at the same time, too, dues, like forcing somebody to pay dues, it's not really like a business concept. It's more like a organization, it's
more chipping in, putting your money together type of concept.
Yeah.
Still, it'd be still hard to get to do that. You know what I mean? But you still just got to keep moving forward. If you see a vision, you just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much.
So what was the goal? Back then, at that point in time, what would you say was your idea of success?
Damn, that's crazy, man, because I still, I wonder that. I mean, was it to get signed or something? I guess that was everybody's goal, you know, get signed to somebody, you know what I mean? But as I look back now, like the people who I was wanting to get signed to is all the people that's got mad controversy around them for what they did to people back in them times when I wanted to be signed.
Makes you feel like God saved you, right? Yeah.
So, you know, it's like there's a reason why maybe not just me, the whole city is not part of that Hollywood and some of that shit, you know what I mean? Never know, because there's niggas that made it through, you know what I mean? Wiz and Sam Snead and Mailman, you know, others, you know, but yeah, I think Wiz kept away from them type of crowds. I mean, for a reason.
Yeah, that could be a thing. So, would you say that your vision of success now has changed since then?
I don't think so. I think it's just maybe. I mean, you know, it's kind of hard to decide. So, you know, some days it's like, you know, every day you're doing it for the love of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But some days you're doing it just for the love of it. Because you don't, you know what I mean? Like, not that you don't believe, but you don't even care if now your movie, I'm working on a movie. You know what I mean? Like, not that I don't care that it's not going to land on Netflix or something if it didn't, but it's the love of it. That's why I'm doing it. I'm not doing that to be Tyler Perry or 50 Cent, even though those are the people who I'm shooting to be like. You know what I mean? Like with the movies and the series and all that, film and all that, you know.
So it's kind of like just for the love of exploring your creativity and art.
Yeah.
I dig it. Yeah, having the ability to do it, like, for example, this podcast for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be in a position financially for my career to where, you know, I'm able to lease this spot, I'm able to buy the cameras, mics, and have the computer to edit and everything, allows me to be in this situation where I'm able to talk to some of the dopest people, have some great conversations, and then put it out and share it with other people that might be interested.
Right.
So, like, if somebody were to ask me what my goal of success is, I feel like I already reached it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my success is literally sitting here having conversations, and then like it'll play and my friends and family, you know, my wife, everybody watches it and they come to me like, oh, it was dope when he said this and you asked him that and y'all talk about this and I didn't know this and that. And it's also an opportunity, you know, if someone needs some exposure, someone has something, we can talk about it, you know, helping out that way as far as the person I'm interviewing or helping the community. So like, for example, I got the interview with the dude that works at my homie Terrell Williams. Got the interview. He works for the Pittsburgh public school system. I forgot what his job is exactly, but I'm sure a lot of what he has to say is going to help educate people on what's going on in Pittsburgh public schools and, you know, things that we need to know, how we need to act as far as our kids, whoever has kids in that school system.
Right.
So it's educating the community at the same time. So yeah, to me, I feel like I done already reached success. Of course, money would be nice, but
right. Hey.
I mean,
money don't specifically mean success, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you're always gonna want more. You could always want more. You know what I mean? Like you get an amount, you want more. You know what I mean? It's like unless you just gotta find comfort, man. Like loving what you do. You know what I mean? Like you love what you do. I love what I do. You know what I mean? Even when the road gets rough, it's just not that rough. You know what I mean? Where you give up. You know?
Okay. So we went from schoolyard, nod your head, just kind of dissipated, we'll say. And then in my memory, I remember New World. Was that the name of the record label? New World?
New World Records, yeah.
How did that come about?
We had me, we had Hunter, and we had Fez, you know? And that was like, we was up my crib just making dope ass joints, you know what I mean? But we wasn't dropping them or nothing. We was putting them out, but sort of not putting them out, you know. And the boys who had the bread to start New World was like, yo, we want to start a label. We want y'all to, you know, Spuck, we want you to be in charge, just like y'all here. You know what I mean? You run it, Fizz, you make the beats, Hunter, you do the songs, and y'all make it work, you know. So they started promoting it and shit, and then they just got caught up in some street shit, and you know we was back to where we was comfortable anyway. You know what I mean? Not that we wasn't comfortable there, but we was back in our zone. So
it was built up around y'all? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They wanted to start the label. They had like, you know, a couple of them might have had a little cousin or somebody who wanted to rap, but you know, Fez had the hottest beats. So you know what I mean? And we was up there coming up with concepts like, it was crazy. And Hunter was out there in the streets like hand to hand with the CDs. So it was like, yeah, them dudes got something going on up there. So they wanted to be a part of it, but they couldn't get rid of the street shit enough to make it through whatever we was trying to get through.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember there was a time when it was after I got back from Atlanta, but you was on a radio station. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't just advertisements, I remember hearing the song or something like that on Whammo. I came up, this had to be 2005 or 2006 maybe, when that show at not the convention center, the one in Monroeville.
Okay.
The Expo Mart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Y'all did a lot of stuff there. Like, was it a different experience? Did you learn anything from that?
I learned that it wasn't hard to get at niggas if you know what I mean, got the money to pay them to come. I mean,
like celebrities?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I learned that, all you gotta do is seem like you got some bread and motherfuckers will start wanting to like jump on board. Like, you know what I mean? They don't know. It's just like, oh, y'all doing this? And they just started to just fan in because they figured them niggas had bread, so let's do it. You know what I mean?
So y'all was working with celebrities? Like major artists and stuff?
We didn't know, but they was just bringing them in. You know what I mean? As far as...
like shows?
Yeah, for shows and shit. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, we didn't do no songs with nobody though, but...
There was never no attempt there?
I don't know. I was like, I was, once again, trying, I ain't really want to be all like, yo, let me get a song with you, you know what I mean? Like, I was not really like, like, it wasn't my bread anyway, so I wasn't like, yo, man, won't you pay for me to do a song with this nigga? You know what I mean? Like, at the time, I'm youth build still, you know what I mean? Not youth build, but I'm still in my early stages of building, you know what I mean? It's like 4 or 5 years later, but I'm still like not the boss on the job, you know what I mean? And to be honest, when that time came around, I kind of wasn't, I like left my job to fuck with New World, you know what I mean? So they was, they had made up they had got the payroll and like was paying niggas weekly checks to like keep us focused and shit, but it wasn't really shit though. I mean, but I seen I took it as a gesture of goodwill.
Right.
And I rocked out with them until they got caught up in what they got caught up in, you know.
So what happened when I was done? Like when they all went down, what was the next step after that?
I started pressing up CDs and coming out, you know what I mean? Started, I think I might have took myself back to school too, you know what I mean? I went back to school for computer networking because I was like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to get on a computer to network with my music more. So computer networking and engineering would be the ticket. So I went to school to get that degree, just associates though. I didn't continue much more.
You got it?
Yeah, just the associates. And I feel like old boy Gary Owen when he said, I got my associates, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? From there, I started working and hitting the lab. That's all I would do, you know what I mean? The working in the lab. While I was going to school, I would be like selling all kinds of CDs though. You know what I mean? It was like $5 and it was like, it was kind of like unbelievable how many CDs I was selling. It was just like, it would come with 100 in a box. I would order like 1,000 of them. There would be 100 in a box, and like every 2 days, I was like bringing a new box to school with me. I don't know how I was doing it.
You were selling them at school?
Well, not at school, but downtown. Like I had my locker, so I would put the box 100 in there and take like 15, 20 out, put in my pocket, and throughout the day, you know what I mean. In between classes, I'll be outside downtown up there selling CDs and I worked at the hospital at the time, so I don't know how I was doing it, man.
That was a time. Like being able to sell music, make sure my mic ain't tripping, being able to sell music for $10, $15 a pop. Mm-hmm. I mean, it gradually went down, but I remember going around selling my CD for $10. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there was some days I made like $100, $200.
Right.
You know, just from a burned CD. That was crazy exciting. Good, dope time to be alive for real, making music. Is there a difference between then and now? Like, do you feel the competitive difference? Because, like, I remember, and I explained this to somebody else, being famous and making a career out of making music, in my mind, we'll say in the late 90s, wasn't realistic. It was, you're going to make music because you want to make music.
Mm-hmm.
You might happen to come across somebody famous, which you got to be prepared to beg, to freestyle, to give them a CD. We don't know nobody. We don't got no famous people around or nothing like that. So as far as you being a famous rapper, you might be excited and actually have like a dream of wanting to be one. But realistically, it just wasn't that much of a thing. Where now I feel like almost everybody sees it as, you know, I could put something on YouTube and be a famous rapper, you know, in a week or a month or something like that. I feel like that changes the landscape of competition in music. What you think?
It definitely makes it where it's like a million and times another million MCs, rappers out there. There's like something new dropping every day. There's definitely more competition if you figure it as competition.
True.
You know what I mean? Like with me, I'm in my own lane. If you don't hear me, you probably ain't meant to hear me, man. Mm. You know, like, and I mean, I hate to say it because, you know, I'm the artist, but if there's not a lot of people that's really meant to hear me, there ain't a lot of people that's meant to hear me. But if they hear me, they may be blessed, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
everybody ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that my word is a blessing or nothing like that, but, you know.
It's you. I get it. Like, you are your own product.
Somebody don't get me. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's a Pittsburgh thing. Like, I remember selling my CD out in McKees Rocks Plaza, and from there, and I would sell it downtown. And I remember trying to sell it to a few people, and they look like, "What's this? Oh, you rap? Yeah, my cousin rap too." And then give the CD back and not buy it. Like, they almost as if they had to choose between supporting me or their cousin.
Yeah.
Like that. That's definitely a thing.
Yeah, that's a thing.
I guess some level of competition or whatever embedded in us mentally. Is,
like, if I buy your CD, you better buy mine when mine come out.
Yeah.
Shit, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd be like, I would say cool, I'll buy it, and I would even buy it, but it's like, I don't want you to really buy my joint for that. I want you to buy it so you're going to listen to it, you know what I mean?
So that...
And support, you know, just support, man, whether, you know, your joint, because I might not ever see you again, bro. But,
right,
you know what I mean? But if I see you again, I mean, then bring it up, yo, you know what I mean? Buy my album. You don't got to bring up the fact that you bought my album, if you did, you know what I mean? Because I want to support anyway, whether you did or didn't. Some people say no to buying the album, saying I should give it to them free. You know what I mean? And I would, you know.
There's another point to that too, which I wanted to use the situation I'm in right now as an example. So we're in between right now the release of my third episode and my fourth. My fourth will be this Saturday, right? We're averaging somewhere around 50 hours worth of views a week.
Okay.
Which, for me, just starting out, I look at that like, that's dope that I got people watching it for 50 hours. If you look at it relatively as far as monetization and popularity and stuff like that, those numbers are extremely low, like being realistic. What I've realized is the content that I'm making, that I'm putting together, is not for my network of peers online, where the people that I add as friends and follow on Facebook and Instagram are not consumers of the content that I like to create.
Okay.
So, like, you know, I do a podcast and me and my wife sit down, watch it. My sister, whoever else, we look at, yo, that's dope, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And then I go to some friends, you know, share a link or whatever, send it to them. Hey, what you think? They watched 10 minutes of it. You know, it was all right. Good job. Congratulations for putting it out. But how is it that you have a 3-hour video with 150 views on it and only 20 hours watch time? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people ain't watching it all the way. So it's kind of like, I need to redirect. I need to find the people that want what I have. That, I feel like, in Pittsburgh generally generates the conversation, which we hear it all the time. Oh, my friends need the support. Y'all don't support, blah, blah, blah. And not saying I support that, but it's a Pittsburgh thing, right? Like, how do we... I don't know how I want to phrase this, but like, how do we get away from that to more of a business-minded, when we conduct an entertainment business?
I think it's so I'm not sure what the question is, like how to like get over like the not getting the watches from the peers and
so we'll start at not getting the watches from the peers, not getting the views from the peers. So this is my experience. Is the reason why I'm not getting views from my peers is because I'm not giving them or selling them something they want. So it's almost the equivalent of like trying to sell pig's feet and chitlins in Upper St. Clair.
Right.
I mean, or
I get it. I think the answer to that is just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Consistency. Like same thing with me. You know what I mean? I got a podcast, the Valley Low podcast, messing with me, B. Porter, Hod, and whoever else from up there want to come sit in and bust it up. And the one thing is our scheduling ain't. We trying to get our schedules right so we can all meet up and do it. But the thing is, a lot of subscribers, a lot of, you might not get a lot of subscribers or views in the beginning. I'm thinking that as long as you're enjoying what you do, it'll keep you doing it. You keep doing it, all that's going to come. I mean, the people who's meant to hear you is going to get tapped in. I mean, I'm a big thing on what's meant to be is like what is meant to be. I mean, so they're going to come, you know what I mean? And you just got to believe that.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that ties back into the conversation of what do you believe success is, right?
Right.
Because if success for me is I want to run this business until we're running $5 million a year revenue, there's certain things that I need to do, certain checks and balances that will ensure I get there. I could, just do whatever and wait, be consistent, see what happens.
Right.
But that's more like almost like gambling, like playing the lottery.
Right.
If I'm going just based off of love, just based off of conversation and, having fun, and any amount of success or monetary gain is success, then whatever happens is going to be good. Right. But if I'm trying to make millions, then it's like, oh, I need to put together some campaigns. I need to get this, pay for this advertising. I need to put out these flyers or share it here and go on Instagram and do these social media videos.
Right.
And blah, blah, blah. That, and I guess looping back around the conversation, I'm trying to pair it up with Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh hip hop, where it feels like so many of us, and I include myself, especially in my youth, where it's like we missed the mark. Like, are we missing the mark or are we just doing it for love?
That's a dope ass question. I mean, I guess you gotta say we're missing the mark if only one per every 200 rappers out of Pittsburgh get recognized. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, and out of those, get one here, you get one here, you get one here. Then you get them who only one really made it through. Maybe one passes away or something. I mean, maybe one goes to jail or something. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's not enough of us, and it's like we're missing our mark. I mean, I would have to say that. You know what I mean? And like, there's ways to promote that. I'll speak for myself that, you know what I mean? I must not be doing if I'm not getting the views that I want. You know what I mean? Like, we know we got to do the ads, and we know we got to, it's the same thing pretty much, the internet as it is in the physical, world. It's like you got to pay the DJ at the club to play your song. you hate it. You hate that, but you do have. Sometimes you just got to do it.
Part of the game.
Pay the radio DJ. I never did that, but you know what I mean. To play the song, I imagine that's what you got to do sometimes. You know what I mean. So the internet, same thing. YouTube, Spotify, they're no different. I figure you just got to pay to get on some certain playlists, and your shit will grow. And if you stay consistent with marketing and advertising and, you know, my thing was always like guerrilla marketing on the streets. Like it was less costly. You know, you didn't have to really advertise much if you go out there and say, yo, I got a CD. I'm out here. I'm doing my thing, man. Follow my dream. Hold me down, man. You know, boom. They bad, you know what I mean? But, you know, like me personally, I must have missed the mark when it came to like the advertising and promoting, and there's just steps you got to take on the internet, which I haven't done. I still struggle with doing. You know what I mean?
That's part of the reason why I try to ask and find out what your idea of success is, and not you specifically, but people in general, because I think where you're aiming, what you're aiming for, kind of determines what direction you're running in and how hard you're running. You know what I mean? Like, for you, I see an artist. I see a dope artist and a person who's driven this, like, if I don't know the answer, I'm going to figure the answer out. I'm going to go in the direction that I think is right, and God going to bless me, and it's going to work out in this direction, which it does.
And if it don't, it's a lesson that's learned. So I'm blessed with the lesson. You know what I mean? But,
and that's why I'm like, to me, Keith isn't let down, horribly distressed and you know, miserable because he didn't make it to be a Wiz Khalifa. Keith is perfectly fine and you know, loves life and still creating and exploring his ideas where he's at. So my interpretation is you are successful and you've reached your level of success. Maybe you could have more that would be, you know, the icing on the cake.
Right.
Could I be wrong with that?
I really, to be honest, like you know, right now, at where I'm at, it's like I don't really want more. You know what I mean? I just want to maintain what I have. You know what I mean? And help others get more. You know what I mean? Like right now with the studios and with the podcast and with the gaming and streaming and the space for the, you know, the barber or the person doing locks or the person doing the tattoos or the person doing lashes, you know, up there. It's a creative space. So I would like to like help folks who need space have it, you know what I mean? And create and just do great work, you know what I mean? I'd like to help folks do great work if I could.
And accomplishing that is successful for you,
That's
right?
success, yeah. Right.
Okay. So going into that space, I remember when either you hit me, I hit you somewhere. We had a conversation before you actually got the building. And I remember you telling me like, yo, you know, I feel it. This is the right move. I want to have, you know, separate studios in there. I want to have a podcast space. I want to be able to edit movies. You had these like grandiose ideas, but I know you and I know how hard you work and how much drive you got. So to me, it wasn't unrealistic. It wasn't like you were spewing some BS. It was like, nah, Keith's going to do this. He's going to find a way to make it work. Since then, it's grown and even shifted a little bit from that first original conversation. Was it difficult to get to where you're at right now with it?
I mean, I wouldn't see, is there such thing as something not being difficult, but not being easy at the same time? It wasn't easy,
like
just because nothing is. Nothing worth having is easy.
Moments where you was like damn near about to quit, like this is rough?
I mean, to be honest, you know what I mean? Like, all the time, you know what I mean? All the time, but it's like, I think that's what makes you. You know what I mean? It's just a never giving up thing. You know what I mean? Like one foot in front of the other, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, you know, one step at a time, one breath at a time. You know what I mean? It's like, though that's like a rhyme that I say to myself in the morning when I'm getting ready to go out, like one day at a time, one prayer at a time. One step at a time, one breath at a time. I got my phone, my keys, I got my IDs, my trees. Okay, you can leave. You know what I mean? Like I like speak rhymes as I go to kind of like, it's kind of crazy, but
that's dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I don't sing the song, I forget something. Like, damn, I don't got my phone. I didn't sing the song. So go get my keys or go get my cheese or go get whatever I gotta get. You know what I mean?
That's dope for real. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess everything gonna have some difficulty with it. What is it overall? I know you kind of explained just like a brief overview, but for the audience that don't know, you're building an adventure that you got going on right now.
Well, it's called Fame PGH. It's your film and music experts. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert through academics. I'm just an expert through experience in life and never giving up and learning what I need to learn. You know what I mean? You edit on DaVinci Resolve. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not easy, but it's not hard for someone who's done, you know, it's not that different from Pro Tools. You know what I mean? It's just for video. So there's a video spot and there's an audio spot, you know? So it's just, so it's film and music. You know, we got a couple studios up there. We got a couple podcast rooms up there. We got a couple pre-production studios up there. There's even a barber up there, you know what I mean? He's out front and he cuts you up, or, you know, he does his own thing with his, off his private, clients, but he'll clean you up before your podcast or something. We got downstairs, which it hasn't really got into development yet, just because like I'm doing so much, it's hard to kind of do everything, you know, but it's supposed to be like gaming and streaming, you know what I mean? So sometimes you'll have the YMs down there and they're just playing the PS5 and they're podcasting and they're recording. There's a little studio down there too. So there's about 4 studios, couple pre-production, you know, podcasts. And it's just, you know, the space is there. You know, you got Hayes down in one studio. You got me up in the other studio. You got my son over in one of the pre-production studios. You got Duck, whenever he's able to make it up there, he's over in one of the pre-production studios. He's editing video and the website and stuff. You know? You got Benji out front. We had a girl downstairs doing locks, but right now she moved out, you know, so we got my niece, she's thinking about doing lashes. So she might do lashes down there. While like I said, we got the gaming and the streaming in the one room. Where also there's like a heat press for like pressing hat designs. And there's a sewing machine. Nobody knows how to sew, but we got one. And we practiced for a little bit, but then we were like, maybe we should let somebody else do it. And like, think dude made a pillowcase or something. You know what I mean? It was like something weird, you know what I mean? Just something easy, but I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure if I did that every day, I would learn it, but it's not something that I'm trying to like put all my energy in, you know?
Right.
Especially with stuff like the movie, the music. I want to drop a movie. I want to drop an album. I want to drop the documentary for Fame PGH, you know what I mean? I want to also, make the podcast boom, you know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? You know how I feel, you know what I mean? Podcasting is something that we should do. Like you asked, like why record labels? Like why a podcast is because it comes with the territory, you know? You want to do film. You want, like, that's what rappers graduate to, it seems like. You know what I mean? Film, TV, podcasts, obviously, you know what I mean? So it's like par for the course. It's what you do. It's what we love.
Right,
you know?
right. Okay. Is it, are there like spaces for lease like available in there? Like if somebody hit you up like, yo, I need a spot for my studio or podcast or braid and hair or something like that?
Yeah, right now, but That's only until, for a limited time, yeah.
Okay.
Right now, it's basically available for a limited time.
And they could definitely hit you up if they say, I got this movie idea or I want to record some music or something like that, like book time and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll film a movie for someone if they have the idea and the script and the budget. You know what I mean?
Okay. What budget you usually go with? Like, you don't got to give exact numbers, but like a range that somebody should be within before, like, to know that they serious when they come to you?
I mean, it's hard to say. You know what I mean? I guess depends on, right now on the independent level where we're at. If they want to do a movie, they're going to have to have at least 5,000 or 10,000, I would think. You know what I mean?
I mean,
they wouldn't want to come into the room without that. You know what I mean?
Just making sure that, because, there's some dudes that might be like, oh, I got $500. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of clear that up on.
We could probably shoot a scene or something. You know what I mean? Like one scene or something for that
commercial or something.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't bad. So okay, so now we got following the timeline. We go from the earlier years of rapping, true style, and everything. Oh, I ain't even mentioned this either. So not only while you're young, doing the like the local hood mixtapes and stuff like that, building a record label, having a rap crew, going to youth build, all of these different things, but also a young Black father.
Right.
How was that? Like being a father, especially at such a young age, while doing all of those things. Like, and there's a reason why I asked. I talk about it a lot on here. I didn't become a father until I was like 25.
Okay.
For me, it was difficult because during my rap career, I mean, first of all, I was into the girls way too much. That took all my time and energy. But at the same time, when I wasn't with the girls, it was music. And whatever time I had left after that, I kind of gave it to my kids, like, here's some money, send them over on the weekend, stuff like that, where looking back on it now, especially by today's standards, which is much different from back then, is like, damn, I could have did way better, as a father. But there was a point where I shifted at an early enough age, and it's where I went to school, for engineering, shifted my whole mind frame and got back in the groove in it. But I will say it was extremely difficult for me just simply because I didn't have, even if I wasn't chasing the women, I didn't have enough time or money to really be the father that I should have been and pursue music at the same time.
Well, I mean, you can't worry about the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you love your kids and they love you, that don't matter. None of that matters. You could have been there with your kids every day.
Yeah.
And there could be no love there still.
Yeah. 100%.
So it's like you did what you did and for a reason, and it's like same with me, man. I wish I thought it would be different because now I got a daughter, a 9-year-old. Mm-hmm. And, Jasmine, when I was 14, she was born when I was 15, but I had the girl pregnant when I was 14. Mm-hmm. She's 33 now. Mm-hmm. And it was like that when I was young. She came over on the weekends. First year of her life, she stayed with me during the weekdays so me and her mom could still go to school. My mom would watch the baby. Yeah. But, for the most part, though, she was just there with me on the weekends. And I always thought, like, damn, if she stayed with me every day, it would be a different relationship. We might be closer. Not that we're not close, because we're, super close, you know what I mean? But I just thought there was a such thing, you know what I mean? But now that I'm realizing that the daughter now that I'm raising with my wife, living with the seed, the love is still the same. I mean, it's like, I thought it was going to be like more, but the love is love. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You can't measure it by time all the time. It's just like, you know, you need it as long as you spend it. You know what I mean? As long as you give it when you can, I think it counts big time, man. It don't matter if you're there every day or there once a month, man. Just, I know sometimes it might hurt for some parents who can only see their kids once a month or once every 6 months, and that shit breaks my heart when the mothers hold their children away from the dads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing, it breaks my heart when the dads don't want to go see the kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my stepson, you know, like, that's my son now, you know what I mean? Period. You know, so.
Yeah, I dig it. The reason why I asked that is so for the audience, I'm sure people in the audience who have a career, whatever they doing, you know, that they trying to pursue, and may have some kids, maybe in situations that we were in when we were younger. So it's more like an opportunity for us is like, you know, to be able to speak to the youth, like, you know, drop maybe some gems, little advice, like I've been through it before. And the message I always try to give everyone is like, me personally, I can't judge or force anyone to do anything based on what I believe or understand or anything. I know it eats at me, and maybe I'm overcompensating, but it definitely eats at me mentally now, knowing that a large portion of my children's childhood I missed out on, and not a single time period. Right. And not because I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Even though I was in the same house, I was still doing other stuff. Right. You know what I mean? So it was like, I feel like I'll talk about this like every podcast. That's how serious it is.
I mean, like, to be honest, but you're not alone. Like, I find myself having to tell myself to shut down and go spend time with your friend. You know, go upstairs and sit with your wife and your daughter before it's bedtime or something. You know, don't get consumed. Because this film editing and just, like I said, album, film, you know, like podcast, a game show. I want to do a game show. You know what I mean? I got it in the workings right now. It's just I need like a host. And I just need to set aside time to get the set for it, right? You know? Right. But, yeah, just trying not to get too consumed in what we're doing when it comes to the arts. Like, that's one of the topics, a major topic that I want to talk about is balancing our time, you know? Because we can't not follow our dreams, but we also can't, like, neglect our family, you know? Yeah. We got to give them more time too, you know? But they got to understand, you know, things that we want to do, you know, so.
How do you do that successfully?
Pray and just talk it out, you know, just do your best, you know, like sometimes you just gotta know when it's time to, like I said, I'll get up and, you know, it's the winter time. I'm a little slow right now with the contracting, so I'm having more time on the computer. I'll be down there in the man cave from 8 a.m. I tell myself, that's enough, man. Go upstairs, you know what I mean? Because, like, I'm not ignoring them, but it's like I'm not there, and I sense the, you know, my presence being wanted, you know? Like, if I ain't, you know, if I'm, you know, she might, because you got to go through my room, the man cave, to go to the laundry room, and I'll see my wife come throw laundry, a load in. I'll hear my daughter out there playing. And, you know, like, eventually it'll start getting quiet. And I'm like, well, you know, everybody's gone now. Like, I've been the whole day away down here on this computer. So try to not get consumed if I can help it, you know, because it'll consume you, you know it.
Yeah. In fact, I try to, everything I do is more like numbers based now. Especially with me being an engineer, I turn everything into like a productivity project. So it's more like for a certain amount of hours, I'm going to do this. A certain amount of hours, I'm going to do that. Where, like, for example, when we finish up here, I got 2 hours slated to go home and edit. Whatever I finish within that 2 hours, whatever I finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow, another 2 hours. So like this week's episode that I need to edit, if I don't get it done within those 2 hours, maybe I get it done halfway or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna work on it again tomorrow, you know, for that 2 hours. And it allows me time and space to, you know, hang out with my wife, talk to the kids, whatever. Of course, I don't always stick to that. It's not like I'm disciplined and structured enough to where I follow it to a T, but it's kind of the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you got to think I'm doing 2 to 3 interviews a week, right? Like I get off anywhere between 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So my interviews go until 8 and 9. I'm up at between 5:30 and 6 a.m. every day.
Right.
So from 5:30 to 6 a.m., I'm busy on interview days all the way until I get home, which is around
10.
Between 9 and 10, yeah.
Yep.
And then 2 hours, which means maybe an hour with my wife afterwards. I'm going to bed 11, 12, 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, dinner, all of that other stuff. Then I have the in-between days. In-between days is you got to edit, you got to upload, you got to create clips,
Mm-hmm.
you know, color grade, like all of this. You got to create accounts, just tons and tons of business stuff.
Yep.
This in between. So when it's all said and done, by the time you get through the end of the week, I might have a total of like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours I've spent in total with my family. But everybody understands, you know, this is a new business venture.
Right,
it's going to be that way. But it is definitely a thing. I think for me, staying conscious of it and trying to maximize it is what gets me to that point of like knowing, hey, I need to fix it.
Yeah.
Because like them times when you're not thinking about it,
yeah,
like where you just work and until you feel like full
that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
See, yeah, like you said, as long as it's consciously on our mind, we won't let ourselves get to the point where our wives and our kids are missing us to the point we're not there.
Yeah.
Now, right, at this point, they know we're there, we're working. They might even see you, you know what I mean, working on what you're doing, you know what I mean? So it's like not as bad as if you're at the studio all night, at the studio all day, and not even there, you know, like, and it's not even just music and film. It's like doctors, you know, lawyers or whatever, you know, roofers. I was watching this show where the lady was complaining because her husband was roofing too goddamn long. I mean, then he quit the job because she was bitching, and now she's talking shit because he don't got a job. It was divorce court is what I was watching. She's mad because he don't got a job now. Like, so the judge kind of like went in on her about it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways. If he's working hard as a roofer, he providing, wasn't he? She's like, yeah. But now he ain't working. Well, that's because you was talking shit. That's what dude said. She wouldn't let me work, Judge. My wife watches that.
Trying to think. Y'all watch the like Married at First Sight and Love is Blind, anything like that?
Are those movies or TV shows?
No, TV shows, streaming.
I never seen them.
Netflix. You gotta check it out. It's definitely me and my wife got this thing where we could probably film a podcast just on it. Like we sit in front of the TV watching the show, and while the show is on, we'll like hit pause and then talk about it. Like,
yeah,
shit. Yeah.
That's what I need to do because my wife, she be mad. She be like, "Don't come in here talking when you watching the movie and shit." Because I do, man. I be having my comments. I be wanting to say stuff, but I don't take it to the point where I'll pause it. I wonder how she'll take that. I might try it. Like, now you know damn well.
It depends though. Like if it's something slick, I'll just yell it out. Like we watch. I think it's like Married at First Sight where it'd be like, oh, she got a SpongeBob square head or something like that, or you know, her head look upside down like a bowling pin, like just ripping, but it'll stay playing through, and something will come to me like, oh shit, this applies to this other couple we know, and then that's when I'll hit pause and be like, baby, what do you think about this, and you know, run down the whole joint.
Yeah.
She'll do the same thing every once in a while, like pause it.
Yeah, I'll say something during the show like, man, like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yell out it.
Yeah, I'll be talking to the TV.
That's
right
dope.
now I'm watching Stranger Things right now.
Yeah, see, my wife, she don't mess with nothing, no type of horror or anything that look like
gory.
No gory, nothing that's like from the feel of like demonic or evil.
Yeah.
She don't like nothing like that.
I'm normally like that too. It kind of snuck in on me though. Like now that I'm on this season, it's kind of like they really do got a dude that look like evil demon type shit. But at this point, I'm already in. I'm watching it and I'm cool.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm season 4 right now. There's only 5 seasons, so right now, like that's the only thing I'm watching. Less Power. You know, I'm fucking with 50 Cent right now with his shows. What else am I watching? There's Abbott Elementary, something like that. I watch a lot of shows. I'm noticing stuff now, like looking for how they're making their cut scenes.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean? And
did you start, I don't know how far you got into like creating your own film and editing your own film. I got to a point where as I'm watching shows, I'm like critiquing their edits or the acting in the film.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, oh, they're foreshadowing right there. Or, you know, they forgot to move that out the scene. Look at her hair. I'll pause and rewind. Look at her hair in this scene. Look at her hair in that scene.
Or, you know, since I'm always talking, I'll say their lines better than they said it. He should have said it like this. And then I'll repeat his lines. My wife fucking hates it. She hates when I do that.
How is that, like being married and your wife, I guess, in regards to like your ventures and career and stuff?
Pretty much just normal, I would say. Like, it's great, for real. I got a wife that believes in me. You know, she's behind me. She supports me. You know, so it's not like she'll tell me, that's a dumb idea. You know what I mean? She'll tell me it's a good idea. Or, I mean, don't get me wrong. When something's not a great idea, she'll let me know and she'll shoot me in the right direction with suggestions. She won't just shoot it down like, nah, that don't sound good. She's like, how about you like this? You know what I mean? And I'll consider it or I won't consider it, but at least she was, you know, thoughtful enough to like, you know, tell me what she thinks without beating it down and shutting it just out the door like, that shit out of here. Nobody's trying to, you know, film and music. You know what I mean? Like, I was thinking of calling it Fam. You know what I mean? For the fam. She said, how about Fame? You know what I mean? And because it was still film and music. You know what I mean? Fam, film and music. You know what I mean? But she was like, how about Fame? Might sound a little better. I don't know. So I thought about it and I ran with that. You know, Fame, PGH. You know what I mean? Because fame is fame. You know, like, there's all, you never want to get clearance on a name, company with that name. You know what I mean? Like, so Fame PGH, that way it leaves it open for if I want to go to LA, Fame LA, or Fame NYC, or Fame ATL. You know what I mean? Like, you can have different branches. That's just me dreaming though. You know, like big dreams. I'm not saying that that's what I plan to do, but it's an option that's out there. You know what I mean?
I feel like Fame versus Fam is good in terms of demographics, depending on like what you're doing, who you're selling to, where it's something that doesn't have to be interpreted as Black culture.
Right.
Where
Fam.
Yeah, so I don't
like
know.
Slang, pretty much. I
don't know that how much people realize this or don't realize this, but Pittsburgh, at the most, we're 20 to 30% Black, right? 20 to 30% Black, which of those Black people, some are middle class, some are older, some are babies. So like in the hip hop demographic, I mean, we might be talking 5 to 7%, you know, even if that, where, you know, if you call yourself something hood or your company a hood name or something like that, and you're not marketing to the world, you're not paying for advertising, you know, in California or some other place, if all of your your promotional efforts are in Pittsburgh, you're only going after that small, less than 10% of the population. Where, you know, let's just say you got a pizza shop and your pizza shop is, you know, Homewood Smuck, you know, something like that. And not criticizing, I'm just pulling that out the hat or whatever. But that is like business-wise limiting the money, basically possible potential income that somebody's going to get. I feel like I see that maybe not often, definitely more in the youth, which ties into the discussion we was having earlier. And I feel like there's so much more to business that I want to be able to give, to share, you know, with the youth and everybody. How can we get to a point to where we can help each other and help the community and the community be accepting of it? Or is it just, if you don't want my help or you didn't ask for my help, I'm just going to worry about me and, you know, hopefully God steers you in the right direction?
I think we're already at that point where we're helping each other. It's just we need more of it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and sticking together. You know what I mean? When I say helping each other, I speak like, I mean like sticking together. You know what I mean? I'm helping you because I'm sticking with you. You helping with me because you sticking with me. We stick together. We out here. We work together. You know what I mean? One thing is like we don't do that enough. We all speak out different. You know what I mean? We speak out on the same level of what we're talking about, but, you know, you're speaking, I'm speaking, he's speaking, she's speaking. But if we all spoke as one, it would be stronger, I think. You know what I mean? Like podcasts, even in the podcast world, we don't got a big voice in the podcast. You know what I mean? Like we can name podcasts that's probably doing numbers. Not here in the city, though. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there is any podcast here in the city doing numbers.
They're doing numbers relative to the city for right now.
Right.
And that's not me putting them down at all. Like, they were started, the ones that I know about were started within the past year. And I'll say within the Black community, like Black Pittsburgh, started within the past year, doing really significant numbers relative to being in and for and about Black Pittsburgh. There are more white culture or just other cultures other than Black that are doing really good. I can't think of any names at the moment. Somebody mentioned like Pat McAfee has that sports show or something. Like there's some people that are doing really, really big, dope stuff, you know, Pittsburgh based or out of Pittsburgh or whatever. I feel like Black Pittsburgh, like we limit ourselves. It's like we target each other as competition and aim for,
which we should
aim like, I'm gonna beat you. And as long as I do better than you, I'm successful.
I'm okay. Yeah, that's not what we should be doing out here. So yeah, that's what I mean. Like we stick together and, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just whatever it takes to help, you know, like some people, I don't know if there's a such thing as gatekeeping when there ain't a gate. You know what I mean? Like what gate are you keeping? But if there is, like, why do it? You know, like if you know a way out, nigga, spill the beans. Like pretty much, you know?
Yeah, that I got in a conversation about that with somebody. I agree. And that's kind of what this podcast is and what it's for, which is to share information, to be able to talk to everybody and, you know, spread all the information of, hey, there is no gate. You just need to follow these steps, ABC. I think one of the issues is, and this is something that I experience a lot, especially in starting this podcast, is sometimes people's comprehension isn't good enough to receive the information. Or it's like they have this belief in their mind that there is a gatekeeper. There is some systemic or systematic situation that is preventing me from winning, and I need for you to give me some type of help or a handout or money or something to help my situation. And it's like, you try to explain to people like, no, it don't work like that. And now they think, oh, you gatekeeping, you on the other side.
Right.
Versus the whole idea and concept. And I think maybe it was Akil to describe this. Like, people are their own gatekeepers. Like, people are putting the gate on themselves. Just with that mentality of, thinking something's blocking you. There was a few people I spoke about, like the concept of feeding yourself, where, the idea of back in the day, if you're starving, it was like, yo, like, I'm gonna run in the house and get a can of tuna if I'm hungry and eat that, or a couple slices of bread. Like, we grew up poor for the most part.
Right.
Now, there's this whole idea of like, if for the younger generation, like, if someone can't do it for me, then it just can't get done. Like, I can't do it. Have you experienced that, like, working? And I'm not even speaking of music in general, like at work, where you're doing your construction stuff, and there's maybe like someone that's like, yo, I can't do this for myself. I need you to do it for me. You're like, yo, like, what you mean?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's like there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? You need guys. So, like, if someone can't do something, you got to do it, especially on that type of a job, you come across that all the time, because everybody's not going to have your skill level, and you might want someone to do something where they may not pick up on how to do it, or they might not do it as nice as you will. So, in turn, you like, you don't get upset or nothing like that. You just pretty much show them, make sure they watch, show them what's up, though. So, like, eventually they are nice enough to do it, because you don't want to be that guy who has to do everything.
Right.
It hurts you more than you would believe, Like, I'm still learning that, like, I wrote the film, I directed it, I'm starting to edit it now. Now, I may not be the editor, because like there is someone else editing it, but I know like everybody's schedule is so packed and filled that like if I want you want something done, sometimes you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? Or you'll be on someone else's time. So I'm editing and I'm learning right now as I do it. Because I've never really done it before at this level. I might have edited just a video of me filming my daughters and my grandkids in the backyard or something, you know what I mean? Where I wasn't no dialogue, there wasn't no music, it wasn't no cuts or no fancy transitions. We're just learning how to drag a video in and see where the audio is at, you know what I mean? Pretty much. So now I just put myself through a crash course. I'm putting myself through a crash course on DaVinci Resolve. And I never really dealt with Final Cut Pro or Premiere or anything, but I'm pretty sure that they can't be too much different. And like you're saying, like Resolve is great for color grading. So like it might be the thing to use anyway. So
yeah, Resolve is the #1 top app, period, for color grading. Like every professional that I've ever spoke to say, go to Resolve. And I'm nowhere near an expert. I've been playing around all the way back since like Sony Vegas 4, trying to put together my own videos I recorded on VHS-C. But now playing with Resolve and the color grading is so much easier.
Yeah. Okay. See, I don't know nothing about Premiere or Final Cut Pro or, Vegas Video. I mean, I know about them, but I wouldn't say I've ever worked on them or something.
I would say definitely YouTube University.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube, find like a basic, start with white balance and exposure, contrast, saturation. So those are like the 4 main ones: white balance, saturation, contrast, and exposure. You get those 4 good, and then keep watching those videos, and then, you know, they'll show you all the rest of it and stuff. Mm-hmm. But in general, Resolve has this system that's like completely different from everything else on how they do it. All right, so where we leave off on the timeline, where did the name Spuck come from?
Oh, yeah, Spuck. Well, you know, they used to call me Buck. You know what I mean? What's up, Buck? You know what I mean? But me and Akbar, you know, we used to listen to Spice One. So we just put a SP in front of our name. So we used to call him Ick, but I started calling him Spick.
Is that when I remember you on the song giving shout outs, Ick and Wick?
Yeah, Ick. That's Akbar. So I started calling him Spick. He started calling me Spuck. And it just stuck with me, and I made a little acronym for it, some poor, unfortunate colored kid, or standing proud using collected knowledge, and I just kept it. Spuck Johnson, put that at the end, and it just stayed with me, you know.
Why'd you change to Spuck from Keblos?
I don't know, just because nobody called me that, really. I mean, like, that was my name. Like, Spuck is who I am. I mean, Keblos was, like, made up, you know what I mean? Like, not that it's a made up character from, you know, it's me, it's all me, but it was like, Spuck was just like who I was. Keblos was like somebody I made up as far as the name goes, you know?
Yeah.
So I just, you know, you can't really give yourself a nickname, really, you know? Sometimes it's like you try to, and some people get away with it, but, you know, most nicknames that you get, they came from people calling you it, sometimes even ripping and shit, you know what I mean? So it's just stuck with me, and I just took it, you know?
A lot of people don't know this. I don't know if you remember, I didn't have the name Kalaj back then. When I came up with the name Kalaj Dame, it wasn't Dame at first, it was Damien.
Okay.
And I remember, I think I was like 19. You know the producer, his name is Antoine. He go by $150.
No, I can't recall.
Produced for, what's the dude's name? Eddie. I can't think of his name. Eddie Barnes. Producer for Eddie Barnes.
Okay.
The $150, that's my homie from like middle school.
All right.
We was real cool, real close. We worked together. We used to go out down Oakland all the time. And I can't remember. I was mad or something like that. This one night we walking down that main street where the Originals was. And, you know, I'm like, chicks is like looking at me, dudes trying to talk, and I'm just pissed off about something. And he turned to look. He was like, "You ain't Damien no more. You Dame now." It was just kind of like the energy I was giving off, like, just because I was pissed, I was just like, fuck everything right now.
Yeah.
And he literally, like, at that moment, gave me the name Dame, and it just stuck with me.
And it stuck with you.
Yeah.
That's how it comes, man.
We got where the name Spuck come from. I want to dig more into this contract and stuff. Like, the blue collar work is in, man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard work. Hard.
It is. But it's relevant. I mean, you didn't know. I'm sure you didn't know that it would be this relevant now, you know, way back when you was first going to youth field and stuff.
Right. Nah, not at all. I actually, like, there was a day when, like, doing patios back then, just learning, I would, like, oh my goodness, I would fucking hate getting up going to work. You know what I mean? But I would go. You know what I mean? Because I knew that, like, I had to do something. I couldn't just be in the streets. You know what I mean? I could be in the streets, but, you know, who really wanted to be out there? You know what I mean? If you didn't have to.
Right.
I didn't feel like I had to. You know, I just get a job. I ain't going to make as much as they make, but there's other perks that come with not making that kind of money. You know, like,
right.
What it is. So, yeah, I didn't know, but contracting, it definitely took me to a different level by knowing what I know as far as building, you know?
So, I don't know if I understand correctly. Did you start your own company, or you, like, have a separate company from the person you work for or something?
Well, yeah, I started a contracting business,
Okay.
on the strength that I know a company who needed subs.
Okay.
They needed subcontractors and they didn't have enough, And I knew a couple of the subs already. And I'm like, damn, I've been building these things before them. Why are they out there getting that bread and I'm not? So I just started, one thing led to another. I got the work truck and I got the work truck fitted for what I needed it to do, and got the paperwork situated, that the company needed me to have. And I just kept it moving,
So with that, did you go through like I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm assuming there's like PA licensing and insurance and all of that other stuff?
Yeah. You had to get like your general liability and workers' comp and all that stuff.
Do you have to have some level of credentials in order to get it? Like, let's say for me, for example, like me being an electrical engineer, I'm not an electrician, like two different things. But I know enough to where I can do some things, as electrician work.
Mm-hmm.
I know enough about building in general where like I could put on, a roofer or something like that. There's moments in my life where I was thinking, man, I could start a contracting company or something like that. In order for me to like get, licensed and put together a company and all that, like would I need to go get an associate's degree and be certified?
No. Nope. Not in Pennsylvania. Maybe in some other states or something, but as far as here, you just got to get the pay. They just want your money, man. Pretty much. As long as you just give them the money for the registrations and the certs,
Get insured and stuff.
Yeah, get insured. So, because if you mess somebody's stuff up, then you're covered. That's all they want,
And then from that point, like once you have all your paperwork in order, do you get jobs or bid for jobs on your own, or you go through somebody else for that?
Both. I go through someone else and I bid on jobs on my own. The jobs I bid on my own is more like the word of mouth jobs, And then you got a company who has their own salespeople, and then they funnel those sales to the subcontractors, and everybody gets the percentage that they get. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking, so initially, I might have hit you up for this. I was working on starting an investment team of tradesmen.
Mm-hmm.
I hit you up. We talked about this before.
Yeah.
Where I wanted it to be, like I got a homie who's an electrician. I got a homie who's a plumber. Like I wanted just a bunch of tradesmen to get together, invest in properties.
Right.
And then we all get together, fix it up or whatever. So we're getting that money, like the actual real estate money. We're getting money, like the contractor money to fix it up.
Right.
And then we're collecting, for residuals, if we lease it out or whatever, flipping it. Just seemed like a brilliant idea to me, but it's really difficult, which I don't know. It keeps bringing me back to the same point of people wanting to work together. I don't know.
They all got to have the same ambitions, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't, you got to want it,
Yeah, well, but for that reason, I picked like middle class people. Like everybody is either making close to or over six figures. Like dudes is serious and disciplined enough to be about something. And I pick people like that for a reason, to try to weed out all the BS. But what I found is still everyone has their own vision, their own lane of what they want to fulfill. More so than we're all leaders in our own right, but let's join the Avengers. And I found that being in Pittsburgh for most of my life is really difficult to get a team of Avengers. Yeah.
It is.
Like everybody wants to do their own thing.
Yeah, and it's crazy because everybody wants to form a team, But when it comes down to it, it's like there's always something that hinders it, you know what I mean, and makes it not come to pass, you know.
Too many chiefs.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
That's one issue.
Yeah, nobody wants to be letting someone else be the boss, or you know, everybody wants to be that rapper. You know, it's mad. You know, instead of just like, you know, like, hey, if my job is just to make the phone calls, then that's my job. Then, you know what I mean? Like, you don't need the guy who's making the phone calls to be the rapper, to make the beats, and to be the, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the, I mean, one job is enough unless there's not enough people in there. Like, that's where the problem becomes, you know, like, you're in the studio by yourself. You don't got people to do the stuff that you need them to do, so you do it yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So that's where it comes. And then you start getting used to it. And now you're like, I'm doing my way. And now you don't want to listen to other people's opinions. And that's like where you get fucked up with it, you know?
You also, from that, got people that are self-taught. And it's worked relatively okay for them being self-taught to where now they think they know something. Where a real professional come and tell them, oh, you're doing it wrong. And it's like, I've been doing it for this long.
For so many years,
Yeah, like I know what I'm doing, and blah, 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 you can't tell them nothing. Yeah, that
sometimes that's me, man. I can't, you know, I know I need to like do better, but sometimes I don't want to hear suggestions from someone who's not doing it. Like, I don't care if you got a degree in film. If you're not fucking with it, if you're not doing it, I'm going to listen to what you say and I'm going to take it in with a grain of sand. Now, if you didn't even go to school, but you're on DaVinci every day and you're doing film editing every day, I'm going to listen a little closer. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, I'm not against instruction and learning and taking advice, but you gotta be able to give advice, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I agree. I think there's a certain level of trust that needs to be there, that, you know, you are saying something that's real.
Right.
Like, just because you went to school for it don't mean nothing. Like me, for example, technically I didn't even finish my bachelor degree. I'm an electrical engineer. There's people that have bachelor degrees that don't know a fraction of what I know.
Yeah. Right.
So I mean, it's definitely a thing for people that's doing it all the time, you know, practicing every day, basically.
Classroom versus the field. The field's going to win every time, I would say.
Yeah. I'm just curious, what would it take? How do we get that Avengers team? Is it possible? I know everybody wants it. Like, in theory, if you talk about it verbally, everybody's like, yeah, that's a great idea. But the moment you try, it's like, I'm busy. Like, everybody loses motivation.
Right. I don't know, man. It's just keep whacking at it, you know what I mean? Keep trying, and eventually, you know, like, you'll find the carpenter, you'll find the electrician, you'll find the plumber, you'll find the HVAC guy, you'll find the concrete guy, you'll find the roofer, you'll find, you know what I mean? Like, in the meantime, you gotta, like, now, it feel like it's easier to find folks when you want to pay them.
Yeah.
I mean, now, if you want them to pitch in and all that, it's a little harder to get people to call back. You know, like, yo, man, we all need $500 for this. Or, yo, man, I got $500 for this for you. They'll call you back when you got the $500 for them. But if you need them to bring $500 to the table, you might not get an answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we old enough to know, like, if it's a venture of like investing, it's a little bit different where, like, there's a difference between me saying, yo, Keith, you want to come work with me on this podcast? I can't pay you nothing. But, you know, as long as we do what we're supposed to do, we'll make money in 2 to 3 years.
Right. Versus
me saying, yo, you trying to go half with me to buy this building?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's two different things. And even if it was a record label, you know, record label just kind of like, yo, you know, let's go 50-50. You rap, I'll make beats. You know what I mean? Something like that. And not saying you specifically, just using you as an example. I feel like everybody wants to be the P. Diddy in whatever situation, whether it's music or whatever venture it is. Everybody wants to wear the shiny suits and dance in front of the camera.
Right.
And we can't all,
do that.
Yeah.
And it's not, somebody, that's how you got to do it when there's a organization. Like, somebody got to be the product. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have Big was the product. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much. When that's like, unless I'm mistaken, that was like, Craig Mack dropped before that. I don't know if he had anybody else drop before Biggie after, besides Craig Mack. But Big was the product. They had to push him. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, we need, Voltron needs some feet.
Voltron needs some feet.
Yeah, be Voltron's foot sometime, man. Yeah, that's wild though. So what's next for Spuck?
Just continue with what I'm doing. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Like, hopefully I'll get through this film, and it'll be to my standards. Like, I know that, it ain't no big budget film, so I'm not expecting 300. You know what I mean? Or whatever. That's just one of my favorite movies, 300. But I'm not expecting some great ass box office hit. But at the same time, as I watch it, I see potential in it. You know what I mean? So that's the next thing for me is just film and music. Same thing as what I've been doing for the last 20, 30 years,
Do you have plans or ideas for like your film after this stage of creation?
Film festivals, whatever. Like, I was just telling myself that today, like, get through the editing phase first before you figure out how you're going to market it. You know what I mean? You could think about it right now, maybe throw some hints out there, but it's hard to focus on how to market it before, like, I'm even seeing it. I got to see the film first so I can know what the product is.
You ever use ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Do you have a paid subscription on it?
Yeah.
So, do you use it to manage projects?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I probably don't even need to say no more.
Yeah.
I tend to, I don't know if you do this or not. I tend to, so like the podcast, for example, before I started, I had it on my phone, ChatGPT, so I would talk to it whenever I would get an idea. Like, hey, this is the podcast project. I want to do this. I want to promote it like that. I want to advertise it like this. And then, maybe a week later, I want to use this color scheme. I got this much to spend. I need to figure out how to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Next week, I got to make sure I got my emails. I want to register this business name, do all this stuff. At the end, maybe a few weeks or a month later, I go back into it like, hey, for the podcast project, give me a full outline of all the ideas that I gave you for it. And it would spit it all back out. Like, you need this, you want to do this is the plan, so on and so forth.
Right.
And then I look at it and be like, okay, take this section and let's dive into just this section and expand and explain that out in full detail. I take the whole thing that it spits back out at me, copy it and paste it in the document. And then before you know it, basically I got a full business plan.
Right.
Of, this is how we're going to start. This is who we're going to sell it to. This is the mission statement. This is the demographic. This is the budget. This is the monthly schedule. This is the positions that we need. This is the program.
Yeah.
All the way down.
ChatGPT, AI, man, just period. With the Sora and the Suno and just the music AI artists and the AI videos. It's just crazy right now.
Did you use it to make music yet, Suno?
Yeah. Just to play around, like throw some lyrics in and see what it comes up with, Frankstown, we're talking about, or something like that, like give me some Parliament funk about Frankstown, like say that all up in it.
It's so dope and creates music so good that it killed, even though I had low motivation to make music now, it killed most of what I had left to make music. It felt like...
It's just man versus the machine, bro.
I mean, there's definitely relevant arguments that's like, get your thoughts, your ideas out. There's creativity, there's art inside of you, so create your own art.
Mm-hmm.
I think my problem was I was poor and I wanted to make money. Mm-hmm. I wanted to create a better life for my kids. Yeah, I love to create, but ultimately it was the technical aspect of the creating that I really love. So like, for example, that moment when I walked in and seen your studio,
mm-hmm.
it wasn't about creating beautiful music. It was about, look at all those buttons on the piano.
Yeah.
Look at all those buttons on the drum machine. Like each fader does something different, where I found all of that, like that part that interested me in engineering. So now I do have the creation of music like still in me, but it's nowhere near as much as it used to be.
Right.
And it's simply because anything that because I always wanted to compete. And for me, in competing is like, can I make a song that gives me the same emotion that Schemas gave me the first time I heard it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I make something that's so dope, that's so dramatic and melodic that when I hear it, it like gives me shivers? Well, I could just push a button and do that on AI now in less than 5 minutes. So
takes all the excitement out. Yeah. But you could still, it's like I said, man versus the machine, man. Like I'll still make a song. I'm still gonna make films. And it's me against that AI shit now. You know what I mean? Like, not that I'm against it, but it's just like the way that things just seem where it's headed.
Mm-hmm.
I watch too much TV, man. So I've seen Terminator and I've seen iRobot. You know what I mean? So like, I'm leery about, I'm still gonna use it. I'm still like on board, but I'm leery about what I'm on board with. You know what I mean? Because I know like it could be some crazy shit coming in the future. Like after we done gave our likeness, it knows how we think. It knows what we're gonna do. It knows like our ways. Like you gotta kind of like trick these motherfuckers now. Like follow different patterns and shit. Like stop doing what you're doing and do other shit that you wouldn't do to like trick AI or something like that. Like. I don't know. I watch too many movies. I imagine too much shit.
I see. Yeah, it's definitely me being an engineer and understanding software and stuff. For a while, I understood what was happening on the back end, and I understood its limitations. Now that shit is scary.
Yeah,
it's gotten. I mean, I still like, kind of understand, but it's like the music is like. That shit is scary.
The videos, I mean...
Yeah, the videos too.
Like, I mean, all right, so back then, R. Kelly got R. Kelly. You know what I mean? It was him, nigga. That was you.
Yeah.
But now, they can make a video of somebody right now, and if they're nice enough with it, you won't be able to tell it's AI. And hopefully the people, the cops in them could tell, though,
I think that now they can tell. Like AI does certain shit that's like you can kind of tell, but what I'm afraid of is like 5 to 10 years from now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like as it gets better, so I can even tell for AI generated music, like some of the notes be off in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
Like out of key and shit like that.
Okay, I can't even tell if it's an AI song nowadays because everybody auto-tuned out anyway. So.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It always seemed AI to me, like it sound like computer shit,
That's the thing. A different rabbit hole, kind of going out of the scope of our topics, but How do you feel about like the music that you make and like our generation of hip hop versus what the public wants now?
I feel like it's the same as when we was young. You know what I mean? Like, you know, we might not be super into today's generations, but, you know, when we were that generation, our older elders wasn't super into our shit either. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just respected it though. You know what I mean? And, you know, kind of guide them, you know, like, cause, you know, a lot of these youth want to emulate what they're seeing and who they're hearing, you know, so kind of like, you know, don't be afraid to voice your opinion, you know what I mean? But just know that it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to usually grow out of that phase that we don't want them to be in, like, right now. Like, some of these YNs is just wilding out, but we was wilding out, too, when we was young. So kind of feel like they'll make it through it. Those who's supposed to and those who don't will be the examples, which helps the others make it out, you know what I mean?
Does it ever make you want to make music like them? Like auto-tune, singing?
Not really like them, but with them. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'll get you to do a hook or do a collab where now that's incorporated in where I don't got to do it. Cause you know, like I don't sing, you know? Like I'll kick a little note on the song here and there, like a hook or something, but you're not going to see me, I don't even know who I would name. I mean, but you're not going to see me out there being majorly
Chris
out
Brown.
there with it. Well, he's a real singer,
Yeah.
but the auto tune, you know, like there's a lot of
Like
artists that's like major auto, like a Future. You know what I mean? Does he use the auto tune a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do Drake? I don't know. Do Drake?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of people use autotune. It's so normal now you can't even tell if it's really if they're using it, and then some people it's just turned up so high that you can tell automatically that it's autotune. You know.
Yeah.
Nothing against it, but I never caught that vibe. You know, so yeah, I would like collaborate with some of the younger dudes who use it if I wanted that sound to come out on my canvas, you know.
That makes sense. I had this noted down. I forgot to speak on it. What in the world made you want to get your own action figure?
Right? It was just because I came across a company who was doing it. And I was like, oh, shit, that would be dope right now. You know what I mean? So we got a little G.I. Joe size Spuck, you know what I mean? And what I wanted to do with it, I never did, but I wanted to get a bunch of G.I. Joes and shit. I wanted to set up the little Spuck dude. I wanted to make a little toy video, like moving and shot and moving and shot and moving. You know what I mean? Like, I just never did it. I know that thing will take a lot of time to do, but even if I just set him up in front of the G.I. Joes, like he's doing a concert for the soldiers or something. You know what I mean? Like, that was like just a little vision that I had when I made him and shit.
Did you ever, is this still in the plastic or you opened it up?
I opened it up, but it's still in the plastic though. Like it's got one of those cases where you could put it back in and back on this little spot where it holds them in place.
Yo, I feel like they, I'm pretty sure you weren't there. The Pittsburgh Hip Hop Museum.
Mm-hmm.
They did like an event or whatever. I feel like that's something you should like donate one day when it's all said and done and career's over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's nobody like, I don't know if that'd be cool, but nobody wants to hear no Spuck shit.
Man, you crazy. You know what? You just made me think of another serious concept, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it, right? So when I went to the Hip Hop Music Museum or Hip Hop Museum event,
mm-hmm.
It was Paradise Gray on stage. Might have been a few other boom bap people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from our era, there was like us that made hood music.
Mm-hmm.
And not even necessarily hood music, but like our version of music that represented like where we was from.
Where we was from, right.
there was the lone catalyst in Strict Flow that was like the hippity hop boom bap backpacker rap, right?
Yeah.
Do you see the division between the two in Pittsburgh?
Like right now?
In general, like
period?
Over time.
You mean so like in styles of rap, like the backpack rap versus like the street thug type rap?
Yeah, so not necessarily the music itself, but more so like the communities.
The circles.
Don't really overlap. Like it's very separate.
Right.
So when they talk about, hip hop, Pittsburgh hip hop, a lot of times, they call on the boom bap people, but they don't mention the Kalaj Dame, the Spuck Johnson, the Rough Kim and F3, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't really notice the difference. I don't really see no like separation there. I just see like they mention who they mention, and they don't who they don't. There's a lot of lists and shit they go on. People put their lists out. And you could be one of them guys who be like, yo, where's my name at? Or, yo, you should have put such and such a name on it. Or you could just be like,
But I mean, even still, like when you look at the popular list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of it is like street type music. So you'll have your Hardos, your Stevie B's and stuff, your Asco, 100Ks. You won't have Sharon Dawn. Like Sharon Dawn, I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, no doubt.
He like doing tours, filming videos in Brazil and all types of stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's doing big. His name's not called out. I remember there was a good while when Vague was doing his thing. His name wasn't included in, with the street hip hop stuff. Like there's always been a separation and not much.
I think it's because like those people who are creating stuff like those lists and those like posters and stuff like that, that's what they are. That's their genre.
Even in working together too.
Well, yeah, but like I guess you would think like that's like not just here in the Berg. You don't really see the Black Thoughts with the the Ice Cubes or with the Black Dots with the Jay-Z's, you know what I mean? Like, or the Most Def, what's his name now? He changed it?
Yasin Bey.
Yeah. You ain't gonna see him with...
A little bit, here and there.
Well, yeah, you might catch him.
There was, like Common's been on some joints with other people.
Yeah, you're right.
Kanye, he definitely had his run where he blended, from backpackers to street artists and stuff.
Yeah, he's good at that crossover. Yeah. But you won't get that often. You know what I mean? Not too often.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Talib Kweli wasn't getting the recognition that Jadakiss was getting. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, like going into that, not even the list, but, and maybe I'm just way off for thinking this, but if you ask, I don't know, like Jay-Z, who top artists are, or Most Def, who the top artists are, like they will name each other. For us, at least in Pittsburgh, I don't know. It seems off. I don't feel like, because like you said, and this is what made me think of it when you was like, man, they ain't thinking about Spuck. And I'm like, how could they not?
Now that you say it, then there is some type of, I don't know if I see it as separation or if I just see it as like, you either fuck with them or you don't. I mean, and it's like a popularity thing. You know what I mean? Like some people was just more popular by what they do and who they're around than others, so.
Okay, so going a step even further, right? So I talked to a Kill soon, and Kill, he's doing it, and he's been doing it. I mean, going around, flying everywhere, getting paid off of his music, working with major engineers, artists, celebrities, touring basically, going across seas, still, and lives in Pittsburgh, right? when the lists come out, when the conversations are being had, when the questions are being asked, how do we do this? We need more support. We need this. We need that. I never heard his name brought up. Where it's like, if there was ever a person in the city that you could he's not a gatekeeper, but someone that you could consider in the position of possibly being a gatekeeper, you would think someone like that, someone that has those opportunities, someone that's doing all of those things right now, everyone would be banging his door down to get at him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where, in this current phase of hip hop and Pittsburgh music and stuff, and I want to ask why they're not, but I feel like I kind of already know. But it's like, that's telling. Like, that tells a little bit more as to why they're not screaming Spuck Johnson's name. Like, fuck whether or not they screaming Kalaj's name. To me, I'm a small piece of Pittsburgh hip hop. But in terms of when you're talking about Rampage, F3,
B Porters and Smash and all them.
To me, the next step, Spuck is a huge part of that.
Yeah, to you. But it's like I said, man, a lot of people, sometimes it don't reach who it ain't supposed to reach. You know what I mean? It's like, because before you know it, you're going to be 10 years older. Like, some people won't understand what I was saying. I mean, like, they can't think of 10 years from now. You know what I mean?
That's a good point, too.
So
because
it's like, it's before their time or it's not for them.
Do you ever wonder, I know you've sold thousands of CDs, right? I've sold thousands of CDs. Where's those thousands of people that bought the CDs at?
Right. They're out there, man.
I be thinking that, like, all the music that I've sold, T-shirts I've given away, stuff like that, all types of material, shows that I've rocked, people that know my name, autographs I've given. Where are those people now when I'm like online and, and I put something out with my name on it, and over the past 5 years, I only got 120 views.
Believe it or not, I think they're going to be tuning in, man. Like with the podcast, you want to know where they're at, they're going to be on the other end of that screen, watching. You know what I mean? It's going to come. Like, it's like, that's, and I just got to feel that way. You know what I mean? Like Spuck Johnson, like, when they see that I'm still out here doing what I'm doing, the film, they see the film by Spuck, or they see the new album podcast by Spuck, they're going to remember that it's a real brand, you know what I mean? It's like somebody who, like, out the mud, you know what I mean? It's like somebody who definitely didn't choose the easy way, you know what I mean? It definitely was hard. It is hard, you know what I mean? Like, this is not an easy thing for you to come out here and podcast, you know what I mean? Like, and do it consistent, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, I applaud you, bro, because I can see that you got schedules out and, like, you know what I mean? And it can't be easy, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, you got work. You come home, you get off at 4 or whatever, you know what I mean? You come here, you film, then you go home, then you edit, then you got the minimum is time for the wife that and like you wish you had more time to give her and to spend with them, the family, but you don't, you know what I mean? So that's hard, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, it's something that doesn't go unnoticed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not only your family doesn't unnotice it, but we notice it too. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the people, and God notices. So that's why I'm big on, like, consistency. Like, I need to be more consistent with what I do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to, like, I need to, like, a schedule. You talked about a schedule. I don't have it written down, but I try to put myself on that schedule. And it's ironic that you said 2 hours, because 2 hours is what I like. I figure that's all it takes, man. If you give it that every day, you know what I mean, you're doing more than that, because if you go home and edit for 2 hours after coming here and filming for 2-3 hours, that's a lot of time, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. So keep it up, man. Keep doing it, man. Don't give up because you inspire me. You say I inspired you back in the day, but at the same time, you inspired me. You know, you went to ATL. You was with, you know, like making beats for who was the dude from Bad Boy that you was fucking
Johnny
with?
Hanson.
Yeah. So, you know, keep it up, man. You inspired me. You are inspiring me, and you got people who sit in the seat who inspire me to kill. You know, I tried to actually link up with him a couple times. It's just our schedules or something, you know, like not even on the podcast tip, but on some just knowledge, you know, like I got a couple young dudes that make beats and we would love to learn more about how to like, you know, get into the realm of placements for movies and TV shows and commercials and networks and, you know, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just hard to catch up with everybody, man.
Yeah.
I wish we could just put a mixer together where everybody came at one time and just linked up, you know?
Yeah. I feel like something like that would have to start small, like
you and me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I invite some people that's close to me, you invite some people that's close to you. Yeah. Maybe we just plan to do it every week. Just invite our inner circle and then tell them to invite their circle and, of, you know, relevant people in music and stuff.
Because there's people like with the, you know, there's podcasters, there's producers, there's artists, there's engineers, there's club owners, there's, you know, there's a numerous amount of hats that you can wear that you need someone to have on, but individual. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have to take this off, and now I'm this dude, and now I'm this dude, and now I'm this dude. Like, that's kind of like draining when you know the dopest of the dope in the city. You know what I mean? It's just like we're not all on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? We on a wave, but we ain't on the same wave. You know what I mean? Like, and that could be because, like you said, there's a separation there where there's some people you would say like they are on the same wave. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to club owners and producers and, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, sometimes they're cool with their circle and, you know what I mean? It's like, and you don't want to be trying to come to sit at the table because you're at this table. And even though this table is the more popular table, but it's like there's something in you that you ain't trying to be dick riding. You know what I mean? If that's what you call it. You know what I mean? Like, and you feel like sometimes it's pride. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna say I don't want to ask for help. You know what I mean? But it's like from certain folks, I don't think I would. I mean, and it's wrong, but I don't know if I would ask them for help just because the type of person who they seem to be.
I understand that.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like there used to be dudes that would like, and I know they're local artists, producers and managers and shit like that. And they might have had some connects with, you know what I mean, some majors, you know what I mean? They might, you know, think that, oh yeah, just give me your CD, bro. I'll just listen to it, you know what I mean? And it was like, why are you asking me to buy your CD, bro? Is what this kind of look what they would give me. You know what I mean? So it's like from that, it was like, oh, you know, like I'm gonna just stay in my lane and let everybody stay in their lane. Cause truth be told, like in Pittsburgh, like you're not Wiz or Mailman or even Sam Snead or nothing. Like you ain't really do shit, bro. You know what I mean? You ain't really do shit. So everybody acting big celebrity status when they, like, I'm not fooled by that shit. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I like, hey, hold me down. Do you support $5, $10 CD? No? Okay, I keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll just know, like, oh, some people will be two-star celebrities to, you know what I mean, be supporting a local artist, you know? But you're a local artist, you know what I mean? So
that's a funny one too, because like on the West Coast they don't do that. Like in you know, Sacramento and Texas and all them other places where they support like underground artists and stuff. Like they're big and make money and live off their career in their hometown. And the rest of the world may not have ever heard of them.
But, like Texas is big on that. Like, yeah. Them artists down there, they're definitely eating off of just their area,
I will say, I think there's a misconception about, like, people say Pittsburgh don't support. I think Pittsburgh does support. It's more like what I was talking about earlier.
The percentage-wise, though.
Well, you have to find a way to sell to your demographic in the city. Mm-hmm. And let's just say the hip-hop community of Pittsburgh, black, white, whatever, let's just say is 7% of the population. Mm-hmm. If you make a song, you need as many people out of that 7% of the population to hear it and like it. And the more people like it, the more word of mouth will travel and the more people will hear it, especially now with the internet. Mm. Back in the day, we ain't had the internet. So it was literally, are you performing somewhere where there's a bunch of people, or are you getting your CD out to a bunch of people to where they can know and hear your song? Mm-hmm. Now, if you have a banging song, everyone's going to share it. Everyone's going to know about it. So that's 7% of people that we're saying, in the hip hop community or whatever. Some of those people listen to backpack rap. Some of those people listen to
trap music.
Some listen to auto-tune. Some listen to, 90s and the early 2000s. So it's like, how do you get a big portion of that population to hear about and love what you got to give them? And if you can answer that, if you can solve that, that's how you become, Pittsburgh relevant or famous or whatever as far as the city's concerned. And it doesn't need to be all of them, just a significant portion to where even the people that don't like you at least know about you.
I think it's organically a way that you can make it happen. And, sometimes it's rough, man, but you gotta go around, you gotta support everybody. You gotta support everybody's, like if you're, for example, if you got a show, mm-hmm. and there's like 8 other artists on the card performing, and you perform first. If you leave after your show, then you might, your status won't be as good as if you stay. If you stay and support the rest of the people, then I ain't gonna
be appreciated, better integrity.
Yeah, and you'll be better off.
I think there's relevance to that, but I think it's 2 different things. I think just a little pushback on that. I feel like one is selling yourself and one is selling your product. So mm-hmm. I could be a jerk asshole that don't support anybody at all, but if I got a hit song, everybody gonna love it regardless. Especially because, there's only going to be a small percentage of people that actually know that I'm an asshole to get close and around me enough to know that about me. Like, who could we say had like a hit record in Pittsburgh? I can't think of many that was like a hit. I know there was some that was dope, but I don't know. But basically, like a record is completely undeniable that when you hear it, I've known of a lot of hit records, but they weren't found or heard about pretty much. So for example, Schemas. To me, Schemas was a hit record. If enough people heard that would have been a top hit. Ripping All Amazing's Tracks. That was a hit record.
Oh, shit, I forgot about that.
Starlight, Bright, first star that I see, that was a hit record. Mm-hmm. Picture the Perfect, that was a hit record. You've had records, to me, that if enough people heard it, it would be so loved that everybody would just...
Right. But it was just a promotion thing, Pittsburgh, I can't even say Pittsburgh, it's just me. I didn't have the right promotion. You know what I mean? I still don't, when the internet, there's a way to get the machine working for you. You know what I mean? And I just haven't been able to tap into it. And I'm pretty much, I'm at peace with that shit. You know what I mean? Like there was a time where it was like, I gotta get on. I gotta get my music out there. I'm calling record labels. I got the musicians atlas, and I'm getting addresses. I'm highlighting names. I'm getting managers. I'm on the phone with them. I'm setting up appointments and meetings. And it's just like after a while, it was getting to be too much. It's gonna be too much, man.
So with this podcast, I had to get a partner. Excuse me. Basically, I was a publicist. Jessica, she's literally like a lifesaver. She was the first or second, one of those person I interviewed. Told her all about, what I was doing, how it's going on. And like I said, she's a publicist. She was a copywriter, work in tech, like all this experience working with major artists and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to interview her. She's seen everything that I had going on and stuff. And I won't say that I begged, but it was damn near like, please. So now I'm working with her, and it's almost as if I've cloned myself. So like me having gone to school initially for marketing, having like business sense, like what would it be like if I had another person who was just doing business stuff, like just the way that I would do it. Like how you said, sometimes you got to do it yourself. If I had a person that would do only this the way that I would do it while I do this myself, it's like I'm cloning myself and we're attacking like on all fronts. That is such a hard thing to
come across.
Yeah. To find people that will be a part of your company, organization, record label, empire, without being paid upfront or without being paid much upfront. That doesn't want to be in the forefront, in front of the camera, rapping and making beats. And like, we already got beats. We got 3 beat makers. I need somebody to answer the phone. You know what I mean?
Somebody to make the call. I need somebody to set up the social networks and manage them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I feel you. It's hard to find somebody who's going to do that and stick to it.
And be good at it.
Yeah, and your plan. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody say post this. You know what I mean? If it's not a good, because some people just don't got the knack for posting good shit. You know what I mean? Like, or like they'll, some people, you can't just create a design on Photoshop and post it. You know what I mean? Like, if it looks like it's done in the early 80s, you don't want that shit. You know what I mean?
So that's why I be trying to explain to people the concept of marketing, like strategy, where, you talk about marketing. I've talked about marketing to a few people, and they're like, oh, I ain't got no money to pay enough to pay for somebody to, do all that. And I'm like, no, it's literally just a plan. Just like you said, don't put out some random photo because you just made it yesterday. Don't create a song yesterday and you're uploading it to YouTube. Like, what is your plan exactly? So like, for example, with this podcast, I started in October with the whole business and everything, launched in January. So from October to January, I had 8 interviews. I had my theme song uploaded, working on registration, for ASCAP, Sound Exchange, all of that. Had business names paid for the DBAs, like all completely like worked on and efficient, had the cameras, everything, so that when it launched, this is a game changer. Do you know about Atlassian?
Atlassian?
Yeah.
No.
Atlassian, I think that's what it's called. I'll look it up afterwards, but it's online. It's like a website that has a bunch of different apps, right? These apps are to help productivity and organization within like a company, basically, or whatever you're doing. So, for example, I'm familiar and have been using like Jira. Jira is the app that you can set out a weekly schedule and say, these are the tasks that need done every week.
Mm-hmm.
So we could say, all right, we need someone to put this wall up. We need someone to film this. We need someone to write that. And we need someone to register this stuff. We drop it in here. And I'm going to drag this over and assign this one to you, Keith. And I'm going to assign this one to Lisa. And I'm going to assign this one to Jeffrey. Now we all have a week to complete those tasks. At the end of the week, like whenever you complete the task, you move it over to done.
Mm-hmm.
And I can look on my phone at the app and say, oh, she finished that on this day and he finished that on this day. And it gives you notifications. Hey, you got 2 more days to complete your task that you were supposed to do.
Right.
So that's one. Trello is one that Jessica uses. She's more familiar with. We drop everything into it for the podcast. So we have the Google Drive. When I edit all the clips, chop them all down, add in, go in CapCut, add the
captions and all that.
Yeah, all that stuff. It might be 50 reels or whatever. Drop them all in the Google Drive, list them by name in Trello. All the email logins, different, Instagram, Facebook, all the different logins listed in Trello. All the interview days, Spuck Johnson this week, Achilles Son this week, listed in Trello. So everything is so organized that when we get another person added to the team, I can just tell them, look, this is the schedule. 5 reels a week. Every day we're releasing 5 reels at these times. Go in this folder, grab a reel, upload it to these sites. These are all the logins.
Mm-hmm.
Where it already goes according to the plan because the plan is listed in the app. Everything's written out, according to schedule and everything else. So it's like there's really very little room where it can go wrong. Unless someone is like a cowboy and they just do whatever the hell they feel like doing, which you come across that every once in a while.
Yeah, those are good apps. I'm going to look into those.
Yeah, I'll send you some links. Definitely. Definitely a thing.
Right.
So how can audience support you?
I mean, just prayer, Pray for the boy. Other than that, man, I don't got no.
Is there?
You could search for me, Google me, go to a video and like it or share it or something. But I don't got no GoFundMe or I don't have no merch or online or nothing like that. But most I got is like music, Spuck Johnson on Apple Music or YouTube or something, add me to the playlist if there's a song you like or if an album you like. It ain't many of them. I didn't drop a bunch of joints and put them online like you see on, some people got like 30 albums on there. It's just like Spuck You and Spuck You Too, Couple singles. I'm working on Get a Job, that's the album, the next joint, but who knows how long I'm working on it, so.
Was it Regular Job?
Regular Folks.
Regular Folks.
Regular Folks.
The video you were sweeping in the store?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing. You know what I was going to tell you, too? I just got this idea to get all my old music, put it online, because the more my name rings, the more people searching and stuff. So, like when you distribute your music and stuff, you can select it in TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook to put on your reel.
Okay.
So any song that you got that's, available online and distributed, when you make a reel on TikTok and it says add music, you can click it, search for your song, and add your music there, right?
Okay.
You get paid through your distributor for that. But you also get paid through ASCAP and Sound Exchange for that.
Okay.
So the more your name rings and the more you're advertising your music, and of course, there's always a possibility you might go viral. Somebody might love your song and now everybody's doing the dance to it or something. But the more plays you get, so let's just say, for example, you release the film might have a theme song. Like Power has that theme song in the beginning.
Yeah.
This Spuck Johnson's rapping on the song, like the song you just let me listen to.
Right.
So that's the idea of the Kalaj Dame Podcast theme song.
Okay.
Everywhere you hear it, basically, it all tracks back to, my royalties, my mechanicals, my publishing,
right,
all of that. So as the podcast gets bigger, as we get more views, more people searching and playing and stuff like that, all of that is another form of payment in addition to everything else I'm getting paid for.
Right, another stream of income.
Exactly.
This is what we need, man. More streams, the better. Multiple streams of income. That's like, they don't teach us in school the right stuff, man. They just taught us here. Listen, don't make no mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get penalized, will fail you type shit. But that's not how it is in life. You make the mistakes to get to graduate. If you don't make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, there's not many chances you're going to have to graduate if you're in the adult world.
I feel like, and this might be opening up another rabbit hole to an extent, but I feel like that was a combination of, at least for me, my parents being in survival mode of, we don't have the opportunity to make many mistakes. Like the wrong mistake is going to put you in a really bad situation. And then back in the 80s, at least, a lot more racist where the white people were like, don't make mistakes, way more harsh on the little black kids than the little white kids.
Right. See, but mistakes is inevitable if you ask me.
Yeah, they are.
So it's like, you can't, how can you tell somebody don't make mistakes? It's like saying don't breathe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? Make mistakes, but learn from them. Okay, what was your mistake that you made? Figure out the mistake, whether it's a math question or something. Don't just fail a nigga. Just show a nigga, oh, you went wrong here. And now try it again. You know what I mean? But that's not what they teach us. They give us the test, we fail, and it's over. Your grade is what your grade was. You know what I mean? You don't. They might have went over it back in the day, though, to show us what we made, but we definitely didn't get a do-over.
That's the thing in school. Like, when I was in school for engineering, it was stupid to me, stupid as shit. Like, I got a week to learn this chapter from, Friday to Friday.
Yeah.
And I got to do all of this homework and study all this time, and you give me a test on Friday, and we moving on to the next chapter. And if I fail that test, that's then just the grade that I get.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's just how the system is, man. It don't make sense. But, it's up to us to raise our kids right and teach them. Don't rely on the school system because, maybe your boy will have some answers, with the school system, because there's a couple school districts. I ain't going to say the Pittsburgh because my children ain't in the Pittsburgh public schools, but I know Penn Hill's school district ain't doing the best managing of the funds. You know what I mean? That's, that might be part of why our education is not right because they not spending the money right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's always going to be somebody that's, making stupid bonehead decisions, being selfish or just straight up malicious altogether. There's always, or at least could be reasonable, excuses, understandings, stuff like that. Like people that's given a slither and forced to make magic with nowhere near enough.
Right. Which is a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say more than we probably think, but one thing is there's with streaming being what it is now, it's it's going to be hard to hold a lot of people back. You know what I mean? They're creating stars every day. They're creating with the streamers, it's just inevitably.
You think? I don't think it's as lucrative as it appears to be.
Now, I don't know how lucrative it is because I don't know I'm going off of the main streamers, seem like they're getting bread.
Well, I won't say it's not lucrative. I mean, I don't think it's as easy to cross over from
a regular streamer to a top streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how they do it. Like I said, like my internet networking skills, like even though I went to school for it, I still like didn't pick up a way to like get through to everybody. Like the algorithm, read the like algorithms and shit. Like,
was it like computer science or?
It was computer networking. I mean,
networking like
I had it wrong. When I went there, I thought it was networking like me and you through a computer. We networking with different folks, but it was more like me setting up a computer network in a facility.
Yeah, like Ethernet and wireless and
yeah. So it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be by the time I got finished, but it is what it is. It was something I started and I finished it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, sure, that's a thing. So you know the TCP/IP and protocols and ports.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, it's been years since I graduated and I don't use it every day, but I understand it. You know what I mean? It could come back to me. Again, it's one of those, went to school for it, wasn't in the field. You know what I mean? Like, so I wasn't in the field using it. You know what I mean? But I understood it.
Turn that into, look, I'm going to build your house and I can install your wireless.
Network, your whole system. My crib is great, but, you know, I don't know about somebody else's.
That's a thing. That's a thing, too. Like, I definitely have skills that people like, oh, you should do that. You can make money off that. And I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, some stuff takes more effort and energy than I want to give.
Yeah. At this stage of life, you know what I mean? Because you know what you want. Like you said, you feel like you made it in life. You know what I mean? It's just maintaining what you got. You know what I mean? And if you're blessed with more, it's because you took care of what you had, what you was blessed with, you know?
That's my thing with making music, where, like in my house right now, like where I edit is in my studio, literally. So I have like a Mackie automated mixer. I have my MP Renaissance, my ASRX Pro, my MP 2000 XL, Triton chord keyboard, organ tube mixer turntable.
Right.
I got all this stuff I'm surrounded by, barely ever touch it. People's like, yo, why don't you go back to making beats, making music and stuff? Huh?
Because your heart ain't in it. You know what I mean? And, you know, you can't do everything. You know, I wish I had a young boy that would come make beats. I try to, like, provide a studio for him, but I can't make him come, you know. My son is in there, that's good enough. You know, I wish there were more, you know, more YNs coming through.
My son, he makes music. I just bought him a microphone, a Neumann TLM 102, I think.
Okay.
And he send me songs every now and again.
Where he at?
He's in Kentucky.
Okay.
About to come back home probably in a couple months. He'll be 18 this year.
Oh, cool.
But he's making music. His issue, he doesn't want his hand held.
Okay.
So he's like he's one of those kids that's a lot like me. That's like, he wants to force himself to learn on his own. And I'm like, dude, I walked the road. Like, I took the beating. I failed so that you don't have to go through all this. Like, let me give you what I have to give you.
Oh, my goodness. It's like they don't let, you know, and I can't blame him for wanting to do it on his own, but still, there's no reason for you to act like, for my son's example, using him as an example, there's no reason for him to be out here thugged out, man. Yeah. Like, it fucks me up, man, that he don't listen. And, like, you know, he's having run-ins with the police and shit like that for no reason, because you're not out here starving, so you don't gotta be in the streets. But it might be something that, you know, he don't want to be looked at as somebody who was like born with a silver spoon. Not that he was born with a silver spoon, but he had his parents who had jobs and who wasn't on drugs and who wasn't alcoholics and who, you know, wasn't catching the bus, you know what I mean? Like parents with cars and shit. And like, he just, man, it messes me up sometimes to know that he catching cases and shit for...
How old is he?
Dumb shit. 19. You know, he's catching cases when he's supposed to be out here building with me and But, I bring him out on the job with me, and he don't want to really do it. You know what I mean? So it's like affecting the job. If you don't want to do something, you're not going to do a good job. You're going to mess something up. And you can't be out there on the job with me and just messing stuff up on people's house. Forget it. I just stopped asking them to come. But yeah, man, it's obviously it's not just me. It's hard to get them to listen and do what we want them to do, but that's because they're their own individuals, and I respect it, and just know that I can't save you if you're in the fire.
That's the age. That's the age where it generally happens. I didn't kick my son out, but there was a level of his, like, him being, I can't think of the word. Like, he was so resistant to everything and my authority and everything. My energy was basically like, if you don't want to listen to me, if you feel like I have nothing else to teach you, then you need to find the next stage of your life, which is not here under this roof.
Right.
And it wasn't like, get out, I don't care if you sleep in the street or something like that. It was more like, I want my son safe in general, but let me call your mom and family and let's see what we could do, because right now we at a point where you are hitting like a ceiling in growth.
Yeah.
And I understand that being young, you're going to hit that age where you think you know everything, where you're being resistant to everything. You're taught and you feel like parents just don't understand and all these other things. But it was like, dude, if you don't get out and find somewhere to go, I'm going to end up breaking your neck. And that was, man.
Hey, so that's how it is, man. So they'll learn. One way or another, just gotta leave it up, it ain't up to us anyway, it's up to God. God will take care of them. Hope that they, we taught them enough to at least pray, at least pray.
Yeah.
At least pray. Because I know he grew up going to church, man, so, he's doing what I did as a youth. He smokes, he's in the lab all the time. Trying to get him to keep a job, but he's trying. He's working on it. He's a work in progress.
Are we the generation that raises the knuckleheads just because we were raised in substandard conditions and had to be resilient and fight to be successful?
Yep. It's like we're all like giving our kids what we didn't have. You know what I mean? But we're forgetting to give them what we did have. You know what I mean?
What's that?
Discipline. I mean, like I didn't, like my mom, my mom, she whooped us. We got whoopings, you know what I mean? Like our kids, we ain't whooping our kids. And when we do, it's like me, like I don't even think that really solves anything, you know what I mean? So that might be my mistake, because his mom would get him when he fuck up in school. You know what I mean? I would have to pull her off him, you know what I mean? And it don't seem like it did, because he's out here cutting up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she ain't give up on him. She's still on his ass, making him get a job, making him go to interviews, making him, she's still on his ass. So she's a good mom, It's just sometimes the kids don't listen. When it's a man, he's gonna do what he's gonna do. When it's a woman, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. You can't be overprotective, obviously, for what reasons, for female. And for male, you can't like shelter him, because once he hops off the porch, he's gonna wild out. You know what I mean? That's what they do. You know what I mean? Fucking wild out. He's off the porch. He's wilding out. And I'm just trying to still give him game if he'll listen,
Yeah.
But most of the time, they don't listen. Until, they're hearing it, they ain't listening. So, like, years down the line, it's going to reverberate in his head, and he'll be like, oh, shit. But I'm just hoping it ain't too late by then,
Right.
You can't be. You only get a couple chances to have run-ins out them in them streets with them boys before it starts getting serious. Like each time it's another level of seriousness. So
some people ain't so lucky. Some people the first time they get caught up.
Yeah. But, and that's unfortunate because like I know guys who went to jail for a long time just now getting out. You know what I mean? Like we're in our 40s. They've been in jail for 20, 30 years and shit. You know what I mean? Like because they didn't listen probably to who was trying to talk to them back then.
Right. It's crazy. But that is about our time.
Appreciate you for having me, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
I appreciate
Definitely
that,
proud of you, man. Keep doing this, man.
Definitely. I appreciate it, man. It was dope. I appreciate you coming. Like, this was, like I said, a pinnacle for me.
Yeah.
To be able to sit down with you. Yeah.
I'm glad, man. It's like, they make their lists and, you probably won't hear me on them anyway. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. Like you said, there probably is some type of separation that maybe I'm in denial of or something. You know what I mean? Because they don't, man. They don't mention the Sharon Dons and the Akil Soon, but they're just as impactful as the, other names that get named on them lists, when they come out,
Yeah. Man, I get it. Hopefully, and again, it's a point of the podcast to bring it all together. It's not a music podcast, but as it relates to music and Pittsburgh music, like when I have artists or pioneers of the Pittsburgh music industry on, the conversation is always around how do we uplift and bring the community together? How do we teach our brothers and sisters of, to avoid the mistakes and failures that we made? How do we reach a hand out and pull some people up? In general, it's that all across the board. So, like my homie coming to work in the school system is help the community, help the kids. I had the RN on, was the second episode. She spoke a lot about mental health and marriage and stuff. So it's always, let's help the community, let's build up and teach. But it comes from a position of, I'm from Pittsburgh. I have a little bit of this mentality. I'm trying to beat out of myself and grow out of it. And then I'm having conversations with you and other people where I'm like, is this wrong that I'm thinking this way? Do you feel the same? What can we do to fix it? That type deal. But thank you again, cuz. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just keep on pushing with it, bro.
Absolutely. I play cousins. You know what it is. It's play cousin. This is real cousin, but play cousin. Spuck Johnson, Kalaj Dame. Thank y'all for watching. See you next week.
Down. Welcome to Kalaj Dame. City lights, long days, heavy on the mind. Everybody talking, but they never take the time. Truth in my chest, I don't sugarcoat pain. If you sitting at the table, you gotta show your face. Conversations deeper than the surface, we've been shown. Heart and time. If you listen close, you might change your mind. We don't argue just to win debates. We just shine a light where they hide the grave. It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast, where the real don't gotta broadcast. Every truth gotta pass. Every voice got a lane. It's the Kalaj Dame Podcast. Pull a seat, let the walls crack. If you ever felt unseen, you gon' feel your name. same questions asked why we build so fast, we never heal the past. I don't play judge, I don't play role. I just let you talk while the story unfolds. Bridging gaps, they pretend they there. Men and women trying to meet halfway, no filter. But respect stay intact. If it hit too close, that's a personal